I see you will soon be in the money with a win.
By how much?
By a nose.
Greyhound Derby, brought to you by Blue Square, the art of betting.
We are at Wimbledon, the home of Greyhound racing's greatest event, the Blue Square Greyhound Derby, worth £100,000 to the winner. Thousands are still pouring into the Plough Lane track to see a race that was first competed for at London's White City back in 1927. Tonight there are 3 Irish-trained and 3 English-trained runners in this year's final, the climax to 6 rounds of shocks and intense knockout competition. A very good evening to you. Yes, it really is an open contest, it seems, this year. But there's arguably the best supporting card to a Derby night for some time. Here it is. 8:05 will soon be here with the Derby Invitation. Then it's the Stayers at 8:25, followed by the Derby Plate Final, the consolation race. Then it's the Anglo-Irish Breeding Challenge at 9:05. The Blue Square Champion Hurdle Final is at 9:25 with the best hurdlers around. Then a terrific Durando Marathon before our coverage is climaxed with the Blue Square Greyhound Derby Final itself at 10:12. What a night's racing for you. And as usual, my resident expert and partner here is Jonathan Hobbs. Very good evening to you, Jonathan.
Good evening, Gary.
What a terrific night we should have tonight.
Great atmosphere. The first race here was 10-7, but they were queuing, I think, an hour and a half before then. A huge crowd here. It's a massive sporting weekend, and I think we're in the best place to finish it off.
Well, we've got plenty of time to talk about the Derby, of course, but who do you fancy in the first race?
Well, I think it's a tricky race, of course. We've got Greyhounds who were knocked out in the semi-finals and the quarter-finals of the Derby, effectively consolation. I think Kane's Blue will make all. Trap 6.
OK, well, starting off on his own tonight, but he'll soon be joined by Gary Wiltshire, is Dave Smith, the man in black in the betting ring.
Thanks, Gary. What a tremendous night here is at Wimbledon tonight. Crowds are packing in, as you've already mentioned. The crowds, it's been better, I suppose, over previous years, but maybe that would be better by the time they go into the chaps for the big one at 10:12. Here's a betting then for our first live one coming up. Well, not far away, about a couple of minutes now. And the favourite is a solid 2-1 chance in trap 3, Zigzag Duchy. 5-2 about the 5, Greenwell Storm, put up 9-4, just ease a quarter point. It's 3-1 bar the 2, Kane's Blue in trap 6 is that runner. 5-1 for the 2, Ballymac Charlie. A 16-1, 1, Kawasaki Boyo, and 4, Blake's World outsider as well at 16-1. The Sky Sports predictor, put up by Peter Meldrum, has gone for trap 3 to beat 5, so he rates that a good thing, Zigzag Duchy. The market suggests he might have a great chance, Gary, as well. It's well clear on Peter Meldrum's ratings, it's favourite.
OK, thank you. Terrific crowd here. It always is a fantastic night. It's a beautiful evening. The first one we've had some time, of course, in this terribly wet June, the wettest June on record. But it's looking great, and they're still pouring in, as I say, and there's a huge crowd here for a really fascinating night's racing. There, of course, is the latest betting. The Portsmouth football manager, Harry Redknapp, is the co-owner of Trap 2, Ballymac Charlie, who won the Pall Mall from Oxford on Sky Sports in April. Harry's had a hard week. They're back in training, and he's watching it at home. So good luck, Harry. Jonathan Hobbs has selected Trap 6, Kane's Blue, to win the Blue Square Derby Invitation. Time to say a very good evening to our commentator, Errol Blythe. Good evening to you, Errol.
The sun is beaming down here at Wimbledon. It's a packed crowd, as you already know, and there's going to be some terrific action. We've already had 4 races. We've had a mixture of surprises, some favourites winning. We've had a clock done. We've had excellent action. Now the runners are about to go in then for our first race, the Blue Square Derby Invitation. I know Harry Redknapp may be tired, but Ballymac Charlie may be tired as well, of course. He went out at the semi-final stage of the Greyhound Derby. He's 5-1. He's an early bird in this race, along with Blake's World and Kane's Blue. That's where the early pace is going to come from. We're expecting big finishes, of course, from Zigzag Duchy and Greenwell Storm. They love to come from off the pace. And Kawasaki Boyo, who really defied logic, really going so far in the Greyhound Derby. He's the outsider here at around 16 to 1. Flag his way for our first live race of the evening. It's the Blue Square Derby Invitation. We're racing over 480 metres. The favourite Zigzag Duchy for Charlie Lister in trap 3. He's also got Ballymac Charlie in 2. Here comes the hare. And away we go, and racing up towards the first bend for Blakesworld. Leads up early. Ballymac Charlie trying to get to grips with it as they go into the first bend. After this comes Zigzag Duchy. They go round it okay. And Blakesworld with a lead here. Ballymac Charlie was just forced to check Zigzag Duchy on the outside 5. Greenwell Storm making a run as he entered the third bend, and he's trying to bustle his way round, but still out in front. It's still 4 Blakesworld leading. Coming around the outside again is Zigzag Duchy. Greenwell Storm around the outside of that. It's going to be mighty close. Zigzag Duchy and Greenwell Storm, they go past together. It's very tight in the sunshine here. What a finish. Well, drama already in the Blue Square Derby Invitation. Let's just hope we're going to get to finishes like that all night long. We'll have you at the end of your seat and your heart's pumping. Fantastic. Zigzag Duchy and Greenwell Storm serve it up in our first live race then, and let's watch the action again. So they leave the boxes. Blakesworld came away well. Ballymac Charlie averagely well, but he paces up. He's got that early pace. Kane's Blue a little bit tardy at the start. He came in towards the inside. Zigzag Duchy in a lovely pitch as they go down the far side. Blakesworld, he looks as though he was there for the picking. Zigzag Duchy moving up on the outside. Then Greenwell Storm, what pace he showed between 2 and 3, Greenwell Storm, but he got chopped off at the vital stage as he went for the gap on the inside. Zigzag Duchy came through with its effort. Ballymac Charlie was still there, running a big display after that semi-final defeat as they come up towards winner line. Zigzag Duchy has now hit the front. Here comes on the outside Greenwell Storm, and it's tooth and nail to the wire. Zigzag Duchy far side, near side Greenwell Storm. It's so tight, very tight, and we'll have to wait on the judge on the outcome of the photo finish for the Blue Square Derby Invitation. £1,500 going to the winner here, and it is so tight. Well, we put our spotlight camera on one of the big finishers, Greenwell Storm. Let's follow his performance up towards that first bend. You can see he's running alongside Kane's Blue, who didn't get the best break at all. As they're going around the first bend, he's last going around the turn. He's looking for a little bit of space. He gets it on the outside. Then he ducks for the inside. And boy, doesn't he surge. Look at him going past there, trap 2, Ballymac Charlie. He needs to get past, though, the leader on the inside there, Blakesworld, but he doesn't. He's forced to check. He's lost a couple of lengths in running. Then he switches to the outside. What a game performance. We know Zigzag Dutch is strong over this trip, but boy, Greenwell Storm, he's run a hell of a race, win or lose. We'll find out soon. We're still waiting on the judge here. Very tight. Let's see the super slow-mo then. Ballymac Charlie showing pace up as expected. Blakesworld, though, leading into the first turn. You can see Ballymac Charlie just not getting any luck in running at the first turn. He was still there or thereabouts around the final bend with Blakesworld, who ran his heart out, of course, for Joe Burridge. As they come up towards the winner line, it's Zigzag Duchy and also Greenwell Storm that fight out the finish. And we're waiting for the announcement here.
Trap 3 is the winner, I can confirm that. The photo judge has just given his verdict. Right, we're just confirming that definitely Zigzag Duchy. It's not, it's a dead heat. A dead heat. We're a little bit confused here, but we think it's a dead heat. I thought I heard the judge say Zigzag Duchy. It's a dead heat. Well, that's remarkable. We had Joe Cigar dead heating in the Champion Hurdle Heat last weekend, last Saturday. And now we've had another dub heat.
Two very strong running performers, and what a race that Greenwell Storm has run. But credit Zigzag Dutch, he's owned by Kieran Hickey. He's just retired Tom's View. He's at stud over in Ireland. What a week he's had. And we thought we were excited last week with Kildare Lark and Joe Cigar. We've got a dead heat in our first race tonight. Excellent stuff.
So there you are. I just thought Zigzag Duchy had done it, and I thought the judge said it, but he didn't. It was definitely a dead heat. Fantastic race to start us off. But of course, there were 4 races before we came on air. It's a 14-race card here at Wimbledon tonight. We will show you those 4 races during the next few minutes. But there are 6 more live races for you here tonight at Wimbledon. Climaxed, of course, by the big one, the biggest one of all, the Blue Square Greyhound Derby final work. As I keep stressing, so much prize money in Greyhound racing, £100,000 to the winner. The 2 semi-finals took place last Saturday. We showed them live on Sky Sports News. We're going to show them to you again with a reminder. The first 3 in each semi-final qualify for tonight's big final. Commentary from Errol.
Away they go, racing towards the first bend. Charlie out fast with 2. Olive Connor, here comes 4th next one as they go into the first turn. It looks perilous for Westmead Lord on the outside. To head down the far side, it's 2. Olive Connor that goes on from Forest Goals. Then comes Ballymac Charlie and Westmead Lord fighting out 3rd place at the moment after this comes Flakes World. They come round the second last bend, and in front is still Olive Connor, the leader here from Forest Goals in second. Then comes Westmead Lord. They come round the final turn. Olive Connor and Forest Goals. It's a 1-2 for the Irish in the first semi-final. Here we go. Loyal Honcho in trap 5 comes away averagely. 3 Dilemma's Flight, ping down in front. Dilemma's Flight then leads here from Kate's Blue, moving up into second place. Just not quite getting round Dilemma's Flight. Loyal Honcho's paced up, heading down the far side, and 2 Kate's Blue with the advantage. Dilemma's Flight on this outside. Then comes Loyal Honcho. After these come 4. Corey Fast Trap looking for space. They come round the final bend. It's just Dilemma's Flight. She kicks on now. She's got 2 lengths clear from Loyal Honcho racing in second. Dilemma's Flight will win this battle. Dilemma's Flight the winner.
It's all set for the final later on tonight. It'll be run, remember, 12 minutes past 10. So much racing before then. As I stressed earlier, we do have a wonderful supporting car. Cracky, our first live race for you, finished in a dead heat. Can't get any closer than that. Here are some of the supporting stars then, strutting their stuff.
Geordie Parker digging deep. It's 1 for Charlie Lister. Geordie Parker goes away to win convincingly. Dawson Follins clear from 3. Jill's Fault up in the second. Then comes 2. 2 in Sully as they come up towards the last flight. Took off a little bit early, but wins well. Off the final bend, it's still Spiridon Louis, a length up wide. Susie pushing it all the way, but Spiridon Louis has landed the television trophy.
So let's have a look back at our first race tonight live, that is the 8:05. What a finish in the Blue Square Invitation. Watch out for the white jacket, Zigzag Duchy, the orange jacket of number 5, Greenwell Storm. Can you separate them? Well, the judges couldn't. There was a bit of confusion at first. We thought 3 had won, but it was officially in the end a dead heat, having studied the picture. Now on this one, it does look a bit like Zigzag Duchy, but the judge says it's definitely a dead heat, and his is the only view that matters and the only decision. So we've got plenty of both camps to talk to in just a moment, after we get the full result from Errol.
So the full result then on the 8:05 at Wimbledon, the Blue Square Derby Invitation. A win for Trap 3 Zigzag Duchy and Trap 5 Greenwell Storm, the 2 dead heat winners. Zigzag Duchy returned 2-1 favourite, Greenwell Storm 5-2. Back in third was Trap 2 Ballymac Charlie. The forecast: 3 to beat 5, £3.63. 5 to beat 3, £4.52. 3-5-2 Tricast, £9.79. 5-3-2 for Tricast, £12.17. The winning time was 28.92.
Well, Kieran Hickey owns Zigzag Duchy. He's one of the people now with Dave Smith. I think Pat Flaherty is the trainer of Greenwell Storm is there as well. Let's find out as we join Dave.
Thanks, Gary. Yeah, John and Kieran Hickey here for a Zigzag. Let's have a word with John first. Flying finish, John, as always.
Yeah, he always seems to make life hard for himself. He looked over racing the bag at the third bend, and then he's checked up on the inside, and then having to start again, you know, and to come back to a dog like Zigzag Duchy and run in shows the class of the dog, you know.
Yeah, better luck than he did last Saturday in the Derby semis.
Yeah, he was awfully unlucky, you know. I mean, you'd rather be down here running for the big one, but and he would have had a chance, I think, if he got a run. So that's the nature of greyhound racing. You know.
With a dead heat there.
Happy with a winner, us.
All right, John, thanks so much. Let's move on across to Kieran now, who's owner of Zigzag Done. You happy with a dead heat as well, Kieran?
Yeah, I mean, it's better than a short head. I remember that the art we got done by a short head, so dead heats.
Remember the Stowe, yeah, he was on a nod there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know, getting closer. Maybe next time a short head win. But happy enough. Yeah.
He looked like he had it won, didn't he? And then.
Yeah, it's messy, a bit messy, wasn't it, around the back there? But he's a good dog. You know, he's getting
back to his best now, then, really, because
he's 4 years old in August, so he's running really well, you know. And really pleased.
Okay, Kieran, thanks for your time. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Gary.
Kieran Solo there was Zigzag Dutch. He is, of course, part of the boys from Leicester Syndicate who've had so many good young pups. All right, tonight's card is 14 races. Now, we're only showing 7 live, but we did promise to show you the 4 that came on before we went on air. Here are the first 2. The opener at 10 minutes to 7 was a wonderful lineup of sprinters for a 2-bend race over 276 metres. The favourite in trap 6 was Lunar Vacation at 6-4. Commentary from Errol.
Here comes the hare then for the bluesquare.com sprint. 276 metres in front of them. Away they go, racing towards the first bend. Ryan Crew Simba traps out best. Lunar Vacation, though, is up with the pace. Horseshoe Pink's trying to improve its position. Oh, there's trouble there as they come around the final bend. And Lunar Vacation leads now off that final turn. Horseshoe Pink is trying to close, but up the line it's going to be Lunar Vacation by 2.5 lengths here from Horseshoe Pink. Mulcair Joe knocked over the first bend. He was okay afterwards. So trap 6, Lunar Vacation, the winner. Return the 6-4 favourite. Second trap 5, Horseshoe Pink at 2-1, and third trap 2, Rhine Crew Simba. A winning time 16.26, a new track record for 276 metres here at Wimbledon. Winning distance 2 lengths. Moving on to the 7.08, this was the bluesquarepoker.com Puppy Open, and the warm favourite here was Seamus Carhill's Droopy's Mate in trap 3. And away they go, and racing up towards the first bend. A nice start here from Droopy's Hat, pacing up well from La Valley Skulls in 2. After this comes 6, Borash Henry in 3rd place, and then comes 4. That's Droopy's Mate, the favourite, lying in 4th place. Droopy's Mate lying in 5th, shall I say, just ahead of Lenson Jokers there as well. As they head down towards the second last turn, it's Droopy's Hatton trying to make all then from 2. La Valley Skulls, who was forced to check. After these comes Borash Henry, and trying to make a move now is Droopy's Mate and Lenson Joker, but as they come towards the line, it's Droopy's Hatton that makes all from Lenson Joker in second. So a win in the 7.08 at Wimbledon, the bluesquarepoker.com Puppy Open for trap 5, Droopy's Hatton, the 10-1 winner. Second trap 4, Lenson Joker at 7-1, and third trap 3, Droopy's Mate. The winning time 27.72, winning distance a length. Congratulations to Karen Prince with the winner there with Droopy's Hatton.
Well, we're here, of course, for the Derby final. We will show you all the supporting races up to that time, and we will show you the 2 remaining recorded races a little later. But Jonathan Hobbs, this Derby week started, of course, with the Derby lunch on Monday, the draw at the Grosvenor Victoria Casino.
It's been a massive week, of course. The traditional Derby lunch, there's Mr. Newbon and Mr. McCrick sharing a nice glass. Connections of Corey Fast Trap, there's John Poynton on the left, Fraser Black, his trainer, on the right. Andy Elias and Nick Savett, and plenty of food on offer as well, and I think they treated us very well, didn't they? Big Mac did the draw, looking for the brown envelopes beforehand, but no problem. 2 railers, the lemons flied in 3 with the 4 wides.
So let's have a look at the betting, and these are the latest prices from the sponsor.
Well, Forrest Scholes looking to end that 25-year hoodoo of trap 1. He's an 8-1 chance with Fraser and John Poynter, but the favourite with the sponsors market, Loyal Honcho, 9-4, bidding to realise an ambition of Seamus Graham, his Irish-based trainer, to win the English Derby.
And Jonathan, I want to know what your selections are. The first one, I'm afraid, we're going to stick on there, but
Blue Square Derby, blue bow tie. Do you like it?
You're deflecting from the fact that Kane's blue got.
Thank you very much. I thought I was just going to swerve around that one. Westmead Olivia going to go with in the 8.25, a bit just back from season, but I think she'll improve for a couple of races. Geordie Parker, terrific in the plate heats. Jack's a back for Seamus Graham, well drawn in the 9.05. What a race that is. Jules Fort, a speculative punt in the 9.25. Cash for Kate going against Spirit and Louis and headed on Jordan in what is a mouth-watering Durando, and the perfect appetizer for the Blue Square Ground Derby final at 12:10, or just after.
Good luck with it.
10 even.
Good luck with those, Jonathan. Right, well, The dogs have been here for some time. But here is Nick Saber with his 2 greyhounds here, Dilemma's Flying Trap 3 and Westmead Lord in 6. And I have to say that Nick Saber will be the first ever trainer to train 3 on the bounce if one of those 2 wins.
Well, it's amazing. Westmead Hawk, we've seen for the last 2 years, last to first. Westmead Lord, his half-brother, he'll try to go from the traps onwards to lead all.
Okay, well, the Stayers 6-bend race will be next. That's due up at 8:25. But let's find out where all the money has been plunged this morning, of course, with Dave Smith.
As you'd expect, Gary, on such a fantastic night's grand race, there's been a lot of interest off track. Let's give you the details of where the money's been going throughout the day, really, and into the early evening as well, starting with our 8:25 race. Big Brett Cole's been 5 now, with Tote Sport down to 4-1. Shelbourne Laura and Dark Hondo both been supported, as well as the 6 Westmead Olivia. On to the next race. The 8:45, 1 Lenton Earl and 3 Geordie Parker and 4 Highbury Lau have all been backed. Well backed as well with VC Bet Corals, Lenton Earl. Highbury Lau, one of the warm orders of the day also. Moving on to the next on the card, the 9:05. Jacks are back, Blue Square, saw 11-4 early on, dropped down to 9-4. Savannah Highlands, Blondino and Westmead Joe, who was in sparkling form last season as well as he is this year, of course. That's a lot of action with Tote Sport also. That's in the 9:05 race. Moving down to the 9:25, the 1 Snazzy Time has been well backed. Chambers Carhill's runner 7-2, Corals and Ladbrokes both saw money for it. In the 9:45, 1 Cash for Kate, headed on Jordan, Tote Sport, Blue Square, Paddy Powell, all involved in those moves on the 9:45 race. And let's look at the market moves for the big one, shall we? The 12 minutes past 10, the Blue Square Greyhound Derby. Forest Skulls, despite being drawn in red, never won the Greyhound Derby out of red here at Wimbledon, don't forget. Bet Direct, Tote Sport, Paddy Power, all laid 10-1 of good money. The best price you get now is 8-1 with Paddy Power, Gary.
So, what do you think, Jonathan?
Well, I think we're in for a quite storming evening, and we've got the 8:25, which is just a fantastic 6-bend race. And we've had plenty already. You've seen the sprint, you've seen the dead heat, zigzag Dutchy. I think the in-running betting punters on Betfair will be counting the cost for that one, but there you go.
Okay, well, let's concentrate on this 8:25. That's the off-time race, and here's Dave with the betting.
Okay, Gary, here's the early news then from down here in the 8:25 race. 7-4, solid favourite here is the 4 Shelbourne Law. Not a penny for us so far. 3-1 about the 6 Dog Westmead Olivia. 7-2, 5 Dark Hondo. 5-1, 2 Big Brett Cole. 6-1, 2 Cool Magic. And 1 Did She's 25-1. Here's the parade with the man with the blue bow tie.
You like it, Smithy? Where's your partner in crime? Did She runs out of trap 1. Laura McKellistrom trains for owner Alan Warrener. Very popular local bitch here. She stays strongly as well. She's got form over not just 6 but 8 bends, as did she. She's 21 from 72. It's a pretty decent Wimbledon track record, but she's back up in class now. A terrific race, this one, over 6 bends. Big Brett Cole runs out of trap 2. 35-kilo greyhound trained by Seamus Carhill for the Bishopsgate 10, formerly based up in the north with Ted Soppett. Came down south and lightning times at Walthamstow, 39.60, 39.50. He is a dog, though, that needs to be on the bunny. He wants to be prominent. He wants to dictate terms. Quill Magic will try and deny that lead to Big Brett Cole, running out of trap 3 for Dave Prues and owned by Stuart Donaldson, East Anglian Derby finalist last year, and that was over 4 bends behind the likes of Geordie Parker and Ali Bolt Rocket, 2 very fast 1-lap greyhounds. Quill Magic again at Walthamstow, 39.70 odd. Shelbourne Laura, 7-4 favourite at the moment, trained by Charlie Lister, known as the Derby King. No Lister trained runner in the final this year. Surely next, no problem about that. Shelbourne Laura, 3rd round in the Derby last year, but 3rd in the Stayers Classic, 3rd in the Midland Puppy Derby last year. Tough to beat when she leads. Trap 5 is Dark Hondo, trained by Paul Foster, and his daughter Michelle trained Dark Hondo to win the Cesarewitch effectively. Paul went off on holiday on final night. Absolutely terrific performance, came from off the pace to win well. He's on fire at the moment, and look at that trial for the 668 metre trip, 41 dead. It's a terrific trial for Dark Hondo. Westmead Olivia runs out of trap 6 for Nick Saver and Bob Morton. Of course, the connections that go for gold with Westmead Lord tonight was certainly in the case of Bob Morton. Westmead Olivia, strong running performance. She won the Prestige at Hall Green in 2006, runner-up this year. Like Westmead Eva, she's on the way back after a layoff. Westmead Olivia, she'll improve for those last couple of runs.
Latest news from the betting ring down here. Still sees Shelbourne Laura as a 7-4 chance. They're playing plenty of money for the Greyhound, but still not prepared to make it one way or the other. It's still a 7-4 shot. 3-1 Westmead Olivia, 7-2 Dark Hondo, 5-1 Big Brett Cole, 6 Cure Magic is still 25-1 the outsider in trap 1. 4, 5 and 2 is the way the predictor goes. Let's get off to Errol Blind. They're almost set, Errol.
Yes, the Greyhounds are nearly all in for the Blue Square Stayers race over 668 metres. Racing up to the first winning line, and of course for this event, Shelbourne Laura for Charlie Lister. In trap 4, the favourites. Here is On the Move. They're on the move then. Sun's just going down behind the stands, thank goodness. Blinding going in that first bend over 4 turns, but 6 bends in front of them here for the Blue Square Stayers, and away they go. And 3 Cool Magic is out fast here, leads up early from racing up into second place and looking for space on the inside. Big Brett Cole, a little bit of jostling going on, but it's Cool Magic that's going to set the pace here. Cool Magic leading from Big Brett Cole. After these comes 5, that's Dark Hondo, then comes 4, Shelbourne Laura. Towards the rear, Did She and Westmead Olivia as they go down the far side for the final time. Cool Magic leading the way here by about 2 lengths over 2. Big Brett Cole. After these comes 5, Dark Hondo. Still towards the rear at the moment as they come round the second last bend is Westmead Olivia as they come round the final turn. It's 3, Cool Magic with a length lead over 2 in second place, Big Brett Cole. Cool Magic for David Bruce is finding extra. Cool Magic will go on and win. Back in second place was Big Brett Cole. Did She was third. Well, trap 3, Cool Magic for David Bruce, landing the Blue Square Stayers event here over 668 metres, landing £1,000 in the process. And a trial here just the other week over 460 metres did Cool Magic and recorded a more than useful 27.72. This is the first time that Cool Magic has gone this far. It's been running over the likes of 605 metres at Peterborough, basically. And you can see early pace, cut across trap 4 there. You can see Shelbourne Laura got a bump also from 5, Dark Hondo at the turn. Westmead Olivia slowly away. Never really played a part in the race. You can see Did She at the back as well as they go around the turn there. Around the 4th bend, and Cool Magic still with this 2-length advantage over Big Brett Cole that really needed the lead to show his best. You can see 5, Dark Hondo there in 3rd place. Did She was making a move now going into the second last bend and moved up into second place. Westmead Olivia around the outside finding life tough towards the back, and as they come around the final bend, Cool Magic finding more all the time here, winning by a couple of lengths in the end from Big Brett Cole back in second place, and Did She taking 3rd. Congratulations to David Bruce here. He had a fancied runner earlier in the card. You can watch the action again here, the super slow trap 3, Cool Magic coming away very smoothly indeed with a length lead already as the traps opened, and increase that lead up the home straight to go on and win here. A good performance from Cool Magic, who ran of course in the East Anglian Ground Derby last year behind Geordie Parker, unbeaten in the Peterborough Cesarewitch, and now landing this race here on Derby final night.
Well, Cool Magic flew out there, was trapped to line win, of course. He is soon in his stride. He's flying round Peterborough. He's won 6 of his last 7, including the Peterborough Cesarewitch. 8-1, big price for his current form. Our next race at 8:45 is the Blue Square Derby Plate Final, the consolation prize for the main event. We will, meanwhile, be taking a look at tonight's Blue Square Derby finalists, all seeking that winner's prize of £100,000 and a place in Greyhound history. First up, traps 1 and 2, the Irish trained dogs, Forest Skulls and Ullid Collar, respectively.
Forest Skulls, trained by Fraser Black, but he's got that burst of early pace that could see him play a part, especially if he traps in front.
The dog's just coming to himself, you know, maybe the 3 runs he improved in each run, and let's hope we can put it all together Saturday night. Never mind the hoodoo, we'll overcome that if we can. I don't care what happens, as long as he runs a good race for the new one on that, and Douglas will be happy.
Lee Connor runs out of trap 2, trained by Paul Hennessy. Very, very strong running performance.
He is holding his own. It's a matter of getting around that first bend, and he is turning in front straight have as much chance as anyone. They all start level. It's an honour to be in the final. And 5 grueling rounds, he has been consistent all through, and it's paid off for him. People that give their right arm that's in dogs all their life to have a Derby finalist. I've only dogs in the last 7-8 years with Paul, and I think I'm one of the lucky ones.
No, he must be on a winning streak.
Blue Square, the art of betting. This highly original piece is called Blue Square, the art of betting.
We're at Wimbledon, not for this really. This is the Scalextrics Derby race. We're here for the real thing, the Greyhound Derby final. Those are retired Greyhounds, and there's a lot of fundraising. This is one of them here, one of the competitions. Name the Teddy, and maybe win one of those or draw them, all in aid of the retired Greyhound Club. Well, this fella's certainly a long way. Trap 3, Cure Magic from being retired. That's 7 wins out of his last 8, including the Peterborough Cesarewitch. Good price as well at 8-1. What a price with his current form. Right, Errol Blythe has the result.
Full result on the 8:25 here at Wimbledon. The Blue Square Stairs race. The win for Trap 3. Cure Magic returned at 8-1. Second, Trap 2. Big Brett Cole at 5-1. And third was Trap 1. Did She? The forecast paid £46.07. The TriCast, that was £306.07. A winning time of 41.02, and the winning distance was a length and a quarter. So the Sky Flyer starts off with Cure Magic at 8-1, means there's £9 running on to the next leg, the 8:45.
Thank you, Errol. A reminder that this year's Blue Square Greyhound Derby is due off at 12 minutes past 10, live here on Sky Sports Extra. It's got a big Irish flavour because half of the 6 Greyhound field is Irish trained. Cue the big Irish race from last Saturday from Shelbourne Park in Dublin. It's the Sporting Press Irish Oaks final, worth €35,000 to the winner. Commentary from Michael Fortune.
The final of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. In 1 Miss Firecracker, 2 Tower Jean, 3 Tower Margaret, 4 Mustang Miranda, 5 Sly Fox, and in 6 the hot favourite, odds on, Alexandrova, here now behind the box. And away to go, she's away quite well, but she's not in front and far from it, as 1 Miss Firecracker and 4 Mustang Miranda race to the bend. 5 Sly Fox is well positioned. Alexandrova is still last, onto the second bend, with 1 Miss Firecracker in front. From 4 Mustang Miranda in second, 2 Tower Jean is getting into it, 3 Tower Margaret are putting in a run. Alexandrova is still last, but she's coming with a huge run around the outside. It's 1 Miss Firecracker. Alexandrova's done into second, and she's powering up the straight. It's 1 Miss Firecracker and 6 Alexandrova, but Miss Firecracker, I think, has held on from 6 Alexandrova in second. The time is a magnificent 28:54. This bit's the daughter of magical captain on Octavas, owned, bred and trained down in Clough-Jordan in County Tipperary by young Pat Guilfoyle.
Well, let's get the betting for our next race now. As we go down to the betting ring, it's time to see that Gary Wiltshire, who got stuck in his kennel, has rejoined Dave Smith for this week's programme. Very good evening to you, Gary.
Good evening, Mr. Nuber.
Yeah, what time do you call this?
Don't start.
Please
don't start.
Is there betting news for the 8:45 then? Shall we just give you the details of where? If there's any money going early on, 11-10 Geordie Parker and 5-2 Iceman Ross. 7-2 Droopy's Wells and 8-1 Lenson Earl, the same Highbury Low, and 66-1 Outsiders, the 3 Fine Plan. So where have you been then?
You're a bit unlucky. I fancied the last 2 winners. They were my last snaps. Dave, I've had a horrendous. I've got a puncher on the M40. I got caught in a flower show at David, Hampton Court everywhere. And that lady on the sat-nav, she's a liar. She's telling me to do her left. I've done her left, it's a right. I'm going to sue her. I don't know what her name is. She said, do her left in 100 yards. Oh, Dave, I've had a night to remember. But we're going to back some winners, and we're going to have a forecast here. 2 to beat 1, and we're going to get our money here.
All right, Gary, heard it here first.
And to think, honestly, Gary Wiltshire he lives near me, wanted to give me a lift here today. I've got more sense than that, haven't I? And I'm here to show you the second batch of the 3rd and 4th races that we didn't show you because we weren't on air. And the first was the Blue Dog Trophy at 7:26, 4 bends, 460 metres. The favourite was in Trap 5, a unique option at 6-4. But the gamble of the day was Lily White Paddy, and somebody in a betting shop in Birmingham told me that it's a dead cert. Was it? Let's find out with Errol Blythe.
Here comes the hare then for the bluesquare.com Blue Dog Trophy, and away they go, racing up towards the first bend, and Lily White Paddy out fast here, leads up early from 2 Legal Major. Corleone's Jet is trying to get amongst the leaders. After these comes 3 Venture Moores, ahead down the far side. Unique Option, the favourites down towards the back, but as ahead towards the halfway point, Corleone's Jet joins Lily White Paddy as they approach the third turn. After these comes 2 Legal Major, just squeezed out of matters. Here comes 5 Unique Option. They come round the final bend, and it's Lily White Paddy by no more than a neck. Corleone's Jet coming again with Unique Option. Oh my word, it's gone to a photo. And the outcome of the photo was a win for Trap 1. Lily White Paddy then winning the 7:26 here at Wimbledon, the bluesquare.com Blue Dog Trophy. Returned at 4-1. Second, Trap 4, Corleone's Jet at 4-1. And third, Trap 5, Unique Option. Winning time 27.78. Winning distance was a short head. Well done to Phil Rees there in the Blue Dog race at Wimbledon. Let's move on now to the Blue Square Stayers event over 688 metres, and the warm favourite here was Westmead Aoife, back from 4-5 down to 1-2 on track. That headed the betting 5-1. Romford Car 2 next best in the ring. Away they go, racing out towards the first bend. Good break from Tufty's Perletta. 3 Romford Car 2 about to take over though from Spanky Moved and Westmead Aoife lying in fourth. Then comes Local Knowledge, who is slowly away with Swift Allah outpaced as they go round the second turn. And 3 Romford Car 2 in front here by Thrillix here from 4. Tufty's Perletta racing in second. Westmead Aoife has improved up into third. After these comes Spanky Moved, then comes Local Knowledge and Swift Allah down the far side final time. And Romford Car 2's been in front for a long time. Leading here some 4 lengths clear from Tufty's Perletta, joined for second by Westmead Aoife. Then a gap back to the others. What's Swift Allah doing at the back? They come round the final turn. Romford Car 2 all out, he needs the line. Romford Car 2 wins by half a length. Romford Car 2. So the 7:45 at Wimbledon, a win for Trap 3. Romford Car 2 winning the Blue Square Stayers event at 5-1. Second, Trap 6, Westmead Aoife, the 1-2 favourite, and third, Trap 4, Tufty's Perletta. A winning time of 42.29. Winning distance was half a length.
Well, that brings us up to speed. We can continue now with our live coverage, having shown you the 4 races now before we came on air. Now, the next race is the Derby Plate Final, the consolation for the main event, of course, for greyhounds who were knocked out in earlier rounds. There were 3 heats for tonight's Derby Plate Final. They took place here at Wimbledon last Saturday. The first 2 in each of the 3 heats, of course, qualifying for this Derby Plate Final. And our commentator, Errol Blind, is a busy boy tonight.
For the first heat of the Blue Square Derby Plate, and away they go. Slow break from Corleone's Ramar. After these, Geordie Parker's paced up well, and that's going to go on here from racing in second, Pilot Pretender. Highbury Lao is there as well as they head down the far side. There comes Drameen Dasher as they head down the back straight, and it's Geordie Parker out in front, trying to put the record straight after a miserable derby. Leading around the third turn here, ahead of Highbury Lao that's pressing it all the time. After these comes Pilot Pretender. Geordie Parker digging deep. It's one for Charlie Lister. Geordie Parker goes away to win convincingly. And away they go, racing up towards the first bend, and best away there was Who Needs Wings in 4. Cleanest Lady is there as well. Droopy's Toby's trying to play catch up after a slow start. Around the turn they go, and 6 goes on then. It's Droopy's Wells on the outside of Cleanest Lady. 2.5 lengths back to 5. That's Droopy's Toby, and they're away from 2 lengths and early. They come round the second last bend, and Droopy's Wells just a fractional leader from Cleanest Lady. Linton Earl moving up into third as they come round the final bend. Cleanest Lady and Droopy's Wells. What a pitch battle. Linton Earl's closing, but Droopy's Wells got there. There they go, and racing up towards the first bend, and 2's away fine. Fine Plan's going to lead up early with Rough Gerard. After he comes 6 around the outside, Iceman Ross as they sort themselves out around that first bend, and it's still 2 up front. Fine Plan with a lead here, ahead of 6 on the outside, Iceman Ross. Rough Gerard trying to find a way through at the third turn. Here they come at the third bend, and Iceman Ross gets round. Iceman Ross now leads up here from back in second place. Rough Gerard after these Barnfield on airs trying to stay on, but it's Iceman Ross that will win, and win well.
Well, that's how they got there before the race. Let's find out where the betting is going. Actually, on paper, Trap 2, Geordie Parker commands all the betting, but at what price? Here are the big boys in the ring.
According to one of the punters down here, there's only one dog could win it. That's Trap 2, Geordie Parker. That's all the rage down here. It's now an odds-on chance from 11 to 10 against. They're asking for 5 to 4. It's 7 to 2 Iceman Ross and 5 to 1 Droopy's Well, 6 to 1 Highbury Lau Bin 8, 10 to 1 Lenson Earl, and 66 to 1 3 Fine Plan. More from Gary and us after the parade with Hobsy.
Thank you very much. This is the Derby Plate final, the Blue Square Derby Plate final. Trap 1 is Lenson Earl, trained by Tony Collette for Lenny Honda. Sitting in the restaurant tonight with his wife Pat, knocked out in the third round of the Derby, but ran on well in the heats of the Plate, just beaten by Droopy's Wells. A Midland Puppy finalist last year, or earlier this year, does move middle, which means that Geordie Parker, the favourite's got to be away and gone. Charlie Lister trains this one for Jimmy Fennick and Scott Fraser. I've just seen Scott go past me. Fingers crossed, he said. Winner. The winter rest clearly worked the oracle for Geordie Parker in terms of his heat performance. Not quite for the Derby. Knocked out behind Eye on the Veto, but a terrific effort in the heats of this 28.55. Trap 3 is Fine Plan, very much on his toes with Laura McEllistrom and John Poynton, of course, has got Forrest Scholes in the final. Was off the track from December through to May, knocked out in the third round, but she's top grade here. She's got plenty of experience of Wimbledon. She's 3 wins from 15 starts. She was knocked out in the third round, but ran well to finish second behind Iceman Ross in the heats. Highbury Lau, Trap 4, trained by Seamus Graham for John Joe Whelan and Mr. Kelly. Knocked out again in the third round of the Derby, but creditable effort, I thought, behind Geordie Parker. This dog's got a lot of pace. They've changed his seeding once again. He's gone from middle to wide and back to wide again, Highbury Lau, who looked to get first run on 5 and 6. Droopy's Wells runs out of Trap 5 for Liz and Rab McNair. Of course, they've got Corey Fast Trap in the Derby final. This was supposedly their main hope, and he ran terrifically well backed in the heats of the Plate, holding on from Lenson Earl, third in the Emerald Cup. But he will look to cover the wide ground occupied by this Greyhound, Iceman Ross, trained by Lance Burford, owned by Lance and Pam, through the wet on a miserable night here on last Saturday, semi-final night of course, but the heats of the Plate, and he came through the wet in good style. It's a good effort, 28.64 from Iceman Ross. He's as tough as old boot. They look to try and get a run around Droopy's Wells in the early part of the race.
So this is the betting scene, and look at all this. There's Kate Miller looking very dapper, and her dad Charlie Miller. And I said to Charlie Miller, are you working for Blue Square tonight? He said, I am the boss and I am her father and I am in charge. I'll ask Kate about that a little later, but let's get the betting now from the boys. Now we're going to go straight, because they're ready, as you can see, straight to the little blind.
Yes, they're all in the traps then for the Blue Square Derby Plate. All favourite in Trap 2, Geordie Parker, now showing at 4 to 5 here. They're on the move. There is running then. We're racing over 480 metres. Second favourite in Trap 6, Iceman Ross, at 7 to 2. Spinning round. And away we go. Racing towards the first turn. Geordie Parker away well. Pacing out also Highbury Lau. That's going to lead us to the first turn with Geordie Parker on the inside to go round the turn. And Geordie Parker hits the front. Leading here just ahead of Highbury Lau. After this comes Fine Plan and Lenson Earl as they head down the far side. And Highbury Lau's gone on for Seamus Graham. It's Highbury Lau by 2 lengths here from 2 Geordie Parker. After this comes 3 Fine Plan. They spin off the final turn. And it's Highbury Lau with a lead here of a length and a half. Racing up towards Winline. Highbury Lau for the Irish. He might hold on. Yes, he does from Geordie Parker, tight to third. Trap 4, Highbury Lau, who'd run some cracking races during the Derby for Seamus Graham, unfortunately went out in the end. Let's run a cracker here. Turning the tables with Geordie Parker on heat run. Nibbled in the market, 8 to 1 down to around 6 to 1. Let's watch the action again. Slow break from Lenson Earl on the inside. They paced up well, Geordie Parker. Took up the lead here. Squeezed out was Trap 3, Fine Plan. Bumping at the back there, Droopy's Wells and Iceman Ross. They head down the far side. It's neck and neck down the far side for a moment or two. But then Highbury Lau kicked down the back straight to lead by 2 lengths into the third turn. Great middle pace, great early pace. And went on to score here. Although he needed the line close home, as Geordie Parker did start coming back at him. So come around that final turn. Highbury Lau returned at 6 to 1, beating the 4 to 5 favourite Geordie Parker. And you can see a real scrap on on for third as well. Lenson Earl and Fine Plan. A real good run for third. That's the camera on the inside. We'll wait on the judge for third there. Here's the super slow as they leave the boxes. Geordie Parker braking okay, but he showed his customary early pace to take a lead at the first bend, but it didn't last long for Geordie Parker as Highbury Lau came around the final bend and just lasted home, and a great win for Seamus Graham.
He certainly was. He's described by Seamus Graham, Highbury Lau, as one for next year. He's won 1 from 5 in Wimbledon now. Sorry, 2 from 5 in Wimbledon and 1 from 9 in Ireland. Both those wins, and tonight's win, came from trap 4, the only time he's run from this box. An Anglo-Irish breeding challenge is the grand title of our next race, with some very strong runners, including Westmead Hawks half-brother Westmead Joe, who's also half-brother to Derby finalist Westmead Lord. More on them later. Meanwhile, let's meet traps 3 and 4 in tonight's Derby final. The joint favourite Dilemma's Flight and the long shot Colry Fast Trap.
Dilemma's Flight. Nick Savage trains this one. Very, very strong running bit.
Everyone says that, you know, they don't do well in the Derby, so hopefully this year we might change it.
We've got the old Dilemma's Flight back, and I think she will be the first bitch, I think it is, ever to do the Oaks and Derby double. When you look at her close-up on parade, she's sort of raring to go.
If she comes out and gets round the first bend, I think she's got an exceptional chance. I know how it feels to lose a Derby, I know how it feels to win a Derby, so to have another one is fantastic.
Trap 4 is Corey Fast Trap, trained by Liz McNair.
He's a very determined dog, and I think he'll give a good account of himself. We're the underdogs, so the pressure's on everybody else, not us.
We're very excited about Saturday night. My dream to win the English Derby, always has been my dream to win the English Derby.
It's hard to take in, but just going to remember it all and just hope.
The dogs are barking.
We're at Wimbledon live for the biggest race in the sport, the Blue Square Greyhound Derby final. Big crowd. There always is a huge crowd here, and it's a beautiful evening for them to come out in their thousands to see some of the finest dogs running in the business. And yes, you're on telly, and so too is Highbury Lau. What an excellent win this was for Seamus Graham, who's expecting better things from him next year. So he's done very well. We'll talk to Seamus Graham in just a moment, but let's get the SP from Errol Blythe.
The full results in the 8:45 here, the Blue Square Derby Plate, was a win there for Trap 4 Highbury Lau for Seamus Graham, going on to beat Trap 2 Geordie Parker, and a dead heat for third place. We'll bring you the dividends of that maybe a bit later, but a dead heat for third. Highbury Lau, the winner there at 6-1, and second Trap 2 Geordie Parker, 4-5 favourites. The winning time 28.75. And let's take a look at the Sky Flyer with the second leg there. Trap 4 Highbury Lau, the 6-1, £63 running onto the third leg. Just to point out, Blue Square go 50-1 Highbury Lau to win next year's Derby.
No favourites yet, and of course the favourite in the big race at the moment is Loyal Honcho, trained by Seamus Graham. He's just had a winner there. Let's hear from him now with Dave Smith.
Thanks, Gary. Yeah, that was quite a good performance for me.
Yeah, he ran real well. I told his owner yesterday that he'd see a different dog tonight. I thought he was in great form yesterday, and he certainly showed it tonight.
50-1 for next year's Derby, is it possible?
Well,
long time away, obviously.
Long time away, but everything is possible. I always told him he was a good dog. He got it hard at the start to get going, but he's right there now, I think.
Oh, this time last year we were touting Lord Tycoon, so...
this time last year, I just don't know I didn't know what it was going to do to win here, but Blue Majestic won the consolation last year. It wasn't such a bad night either.
It's about time you won the Derby with Lord Tycoon. It's about time you won the Derby.
Yeah, we had a bit of bad luck early on with the best dog I ever trained.
Premier Fantasy. I know you're going to get upset about it now, but don't worry, go on.
but I always wanted to come back and try and win it.
OK, all right, we'll let you go there, Shamus. Thanks very much. Gary?
Right.
James Graham's a terrific guy, and this is going to be a big emotional night for him all along. Right, OK, let's now meet two owners in the Derby who are firm friends. On the right of your screen is John Poynton, who owns Trap 1 Forest Scholes, and on the left a familiar figure of Bob Morton, who owns Trap 6 Westmead Lawn. Now they live near each other, practically on the doorstep in Jersey. They own a racehorse together, and they're even sitting together on lucky or unlucky table 13. And by the way, don't know whether this is an omen, but look how they've spelt Frost Skulls. It's Forest Skulls. Take that back with a correction, John.
Will do.
And let me ask you first of all, Bob, I mean, you're a greedy man. Why do you want to win this 3 years on the bounce?
Well, it'd be absolutely wonderful to do it. It'd be absolutely marvellous. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a wide open race. Anything can win it. It really can tonight. It's so open.
Now, John, an interesting situation for you because you bought your Greyhound 2 weeks ago. Can I ask you whether you paid a lot of money for it?
Reasonable amount. And I'm happy with the purchase, obviously. Delighted.
Good. Now, Trap 1 hasn't won here at Wimbledon and hasn't won the Derby for 25 years. Any comment?
Well, it's the first time for everything, and I mean, I think he's a railer, so does Fraser. He's a big dog, he's not going to be pushed around there if he's level with everything. We think it's the ideal draw for him.
OK, just one more question. Of course, you've had, let me think, Brown's Gazette and Landing Light win at Cheltenham in the Racing Festival. If you won tonight, how would that compare with winning at Cheltenham?
It would be a dream come true, obviously, to win the Derby. But it's just nice to have something in the final, and I'm just taking it all in. It's just a great night. It'd be a bonus if it wins.
Okay. Now, Bob, Westmead Lawn isn't Westmead Hawk, but why do you think he can win the Derby tonight?
Well, it's very simple that if he happens to get out and takes an early lead, I think he'll take all the catching. I really do.
It's that sort of race, though, isn't it? Apart from maybe Corey Fast Trap, you could make a case for every
And I think whatever leads tonight will win.
Okay.
It's that sort of race. It's that sort of race.
Okay, Bob, now, have you sort of got used to the thrill of winning this? I mean, Westmead Hawk was very special, and you won 2 years on the trot. Are you a bit more relaxed tonight than you were for those 2 wins?
Yes, I am. But if Westmead Hawk was here, I wouldn't be relaxed.
No. Why?
Well, 3 times, it would be amazing, wouldn't it? So therefore, Lord is my little bit of potential compensation.
I like to pull you up now and again. He is here tonight. He's leading the parade.
And he's going to be leading the field out.
Yes, so he will be leading for a short while tonight. Now, John, when you both sort of mix horse racing and greyhound racing, what does greyhound racing do for you? Because it's not just about tonight. You're a regular purchaser and runner of greyhounds.
That's correct. Well, I just enjoy the racing. I enjoy the greyhounds, and I've got obviously a very good trainer in England, in Nora McAllister. And I just think it's the thrill of winning races. Not the prize money, because there's not big prize money in greyhounds, apart from obviously in a competition like this. And I very rarely have a bet either. I think it's just the thrill of being able to own a good greyhound and see him go through the grades.
Well, you breed them, of course, and Mega Delight's been a fantastic dam, Bob. But what about Nick Saba? Now, there are only 4 or 5 trainers who ever won back-to-back greyhound derbies. Nick is going for a hat-trick. It's never been done before, 3 on the trot.
Well, he's got every chance of winning tonight. He really has.
He's got 2 runners in it, hasn't he?
2 runners, and I think he'll win with one of them.
Well, it's quite interesting you say that, because Dilemma's Flight is a greyhound that until now doesn't really get talked about an awful lot. And here she is, maybe going to win both the Oaks and Derby, the first bitch ever to do that, if it happens.
Well, the potential's there for her to do it.
She's tough, isn't she?
Absolutely.
Now, let's talk about your friendship, because if one of you wins, will it be seriously, be honest with me, will it be a gritted teeth? Well done, Bob. Well done, John.
Well done, Bob.
Who's won it? I haven't worked out who's won it. Who's won it?
We don't know yet.
No, but I thought you were rehearsing there.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter, doesn't it?
We'll be thrilled for each other, but if each of us wins it, we'll be even more thrilled.
Yeah. Okay. thank you very much indeed.
It's a great pleasure.
Good luck, both of you.
Thank you very much.
It's going to be a fantastic final at 12 minutes past 10. Right, it's the Anglo-Irish Breeding Challenge. Next, the aristocracy in the betting ring, Dave Smith and the Earl of Wiltshire.
I don't know about that, Gary, but we and Dave was just saying who would have more money out of you three, like, you know.
3 millionaires together.
6 to more each, 6 to more all of you, I bet. By the way, I've got a new name down here, Tommy Cooper, because that's the name they're calling me now, Gal.
OK, let's see how they're going, shall we? And these are the prices they offer down here. 5-2 Westmead Joe and 3-1 Jacks are back and 3-1 Blondino. 7-2 Savannah Highland, 6-1 Greenwell Flash, and Rio Gigolo is the 33-1 outsider for this Blue Square Anglo-Irish Breeding Challenge. So just taking the 5-2 Westmead Joe. It's now 9-4. Here's the parade.
Thank you very much, Smithy. Blue Square Anglo-Irish Breeding Challenge. What a race. Jacks are back. Runs out of trap one. Trainer in form. Seamus Graham. Wonderful performance from Highbury Loud. Jacks are back. Perfectly drawn on the inside. He's owned by two brothers, Justin and Connor McAleer. They're from County Tyrone. They came over and very unlucky to see their greyhound brilliant in the first round, unlucky in the second round. Great trial mind. Savannah Highlands in trap two, trained by Charlie Lister for Kevin Baker and Dave Wood. He might just move middle in the dash to the first bend, but he was awesome, I thought, in the early rounds of the Greyhound Derby. Indeed, in the second round, 28.43, I think it was the fastest in the entire second round. Terrific effort. Went out behind Ben's court. He can dominate. He'll look to dominate. Trap 3 is Blondino. Talk about unlucky greyhounds in the Derby. I think the unluckiest hound in the Derby was Blondino. John Mullins trains this one for Mark Curran. He went out behind Dilemma's Flight in the quarterfinals and only just failed to pick up Ballymac Charlie, who's a terrific run for a greyhound who was involved in first bend scrimmaging. As Rough Ronaldinho, he won the Midland Puppy Derby. Westmead Joe runs out of trap 4. We've just seen his owner Bob Morton. This one trained by, of course, Nick Savva. He reached the Derby final last year. He was in this year's Derby competition, of course, and went out in the third round behind Blondini, but almost broke the track record in a trial. Greenwell Flash runs out of trap 5 for Pat Flaherty, led up there by John. Great to see John's Greenwell Storm, the little brother of Flash, dead heat in a race a little bit earlier. And watch for this almost Westmead Hawk type style of running, like his brother. Strong running, fast finishing. Greenwell Flash. Rio Gigolo runs out of trap 6 for Danny Reardon, owned and trained by Danny. It's a real, if you like, baptism of fire to tremendously step up in class of Rio Gigolo. But he's a talented greyhound. It's just who he's up against. Make him a 50-1 chance at 5.75 at Romford. He's got early pace. Good trial as well.
Big betting ring down here, as you can see. Let's see how the changes are working out. 9-4 Westmead Joe and 3-1 Jacks are back. I think it's probably pronounced it, or Jazz are back, I'm not sure. 4-1 Savannah Highlands, and then, well, 3-1 Frondina before that, then 4-1 Savannah Highlands. 8-1 Greenwell Flash, a big order. That's plenty of money for
Dave,
that.
Tony Morris just played 7,500 at 2.5 Blondino, 2.5 grand at 3-1.
It's down to 11-4 now. 50-1 the outside of Rio Gigolo. Predictor? 1, 3 and 2. What do you think?
I think it'd be a photo finish, Dave. What, they've got three, a photo finish. I'm going to go with the money. 7,500 a free to a right shrewd face as well, Dave, the free dog.
That's us, Gary.
Well, I'll tell you what, Blondino has got slow starters on his outside. I really fancy Blondino. Jonathan Hobbs has gone for trap 1. Jacks are back. It's the Blue Square Anglo-Irish Breeding Challenge, 480 metres. £2,000 the winning connections. The Derby distance again at 480 metres. Big lineup of real stars here. And a comment before we go through to Errol Blythe from Jonathan Hobbs.
Thank you very much, Gary. Yeah, it's a quite sensational race, really, for the Anglo-Irish Challenge. You've got the greyhound who was one of the stars of the first round, Jacks are back. You've got a star of the second round, Savannah Highlands. You've got a greyhound, Blondino, who's a possible Greyhound Derby winner until on that fateful quarter-final night with Phoenix Paddy, Drippy Robinho. He was unlucky to go out. It's about the early pace. And if they get in each other's way, you've got to look at Westmead Joe and Greenwell Flash for their finish.
All yours, Errol Blythe.
Well, the runners are poised to go in then for the Blue Square Anglo-Irish Breeding Challenge here. £2,000 to the winner, Westmead Joe, who absolutely flew in a trial last weekend. He went on to win by 8 lengths and recorded 27.35, a flying time, but let's bear in mind he did actually lead at the first bend that day. He's entitled to do a quick time if he can get a run. But he's got so much pace on his inside in the shape of Jacks are back, Savannah Highlands and Blondino. They're the three pacey ones, as Jonathan's pointed out to you. Greenwell Flash will finish strongly. Rio Gigolo, nice to have you on board. But the outsider here at 50-1. Well, The last one goes in then. And the starter comes round to check them over. The wind has dropped a little bit here at Wimbledon. The sun's just going down. Flag is waved for the 9:05. We're just over an hour away until the big one, of course. Blue Square Greyhound Derby. This is the Anglo-Irish Breeding Challenge. 480 metres, and away they go, racing towards the first bend. Good start from Westmead Joe. Blondino pacing up with two. Savannah Highlands. These two go round in front then from Westmead Joe in third. After this comes Jackson back as they head down the far side. Savannah Highlands, the leader here from three. Blondino, two lengths back to Westmead Joe as they come round the second last bend. Savannah Highlands still thwarting Blondino. Riding behind now, Westmead Joe needs an opening to come round the final bend. He's checked. It's Savannah Highlands still in front. Savannah Highlands by a length from Blondino. Westmead Joe back in third. Charlie Lister's Savannah Highlands lasting home for success here in the Blue Square Anglo-Irish Breeding Challenge. I have to admit, as they went down the far side, I just thought it needed an opening. Westmead Joe didn't come, couldn't find it. And in the end, a very brave run from the front from Savannah Highlands, who was thwarted, of course, in the blue ribbon final. He ran well during the Greyhound Derby. He came away fast. Jackson back absolutely walked out of the boxes. He paced up and beat Blondino to the bend, did Savannah Highlands, and then set sail down the backstretch, moving off wide off the second turn. You can see Blondino forced out wide as well. But going into the third bend, all eyes were then on Westmead Joe. It was a case of, can he take the opening? Will he find a way past Savannah Highlands? But the answer was no. He had to check there just off the final turn. And in the end, Savannah Highlands was able to stay on well enough to win here for Charlie Lister and land a cracking race in the end from Blondino in second place. And back in third, Westmead Joe. We put the spotlight camera on a trap for Westmead Joe. He had a lovely start. Westmead Joe, he broke well. He was handy going into the first bend. No excuses here for Westmead Joe. Of course, ran in last year's final in behind Westmead Hawk. You can see he's all by himself down the backstretch. He's about to get to grips with Savannah Highlands and Blondino. But going into the third bend, decisions have to be made. Winning time was 28.48. You can see he went for the wrong decision. He went for the inside route. He was blocked off. And it was a fabulous time from Savannah Highlands. Let's watch the action again as they leave the traps. All early pace from Savannah Highlands. He didn't trap out as well as Blondino, but he was inside his main rival for the early pace at that first bend. And then he saw off Westmead Joe around the final bend to go on and win. Savannah Highlands wins on Derby final night.
Well, we can't get a favourite in live at the moment, can we? Savannah Highlands 4-1, and British bred. Irish bred second place, British bred third place. The Blue Square Champion Hurdle final is next. The best of the British hurdling game are all in it. What a race it does look likely to be. We're having a terrific night here. We're here, though, of course, primarily for the Blue Square Greyhound Derby. We've had our last two finalists to look at now. Trap 5, joint favourite, well, favourite at the moment, Loyal Honcho from Ireland. And from Westmead Hawks Kennel, his half-brother, Westmead Lord, in Trap 6.
Loyal Honcho, trained by Seamus Graham, is one to relish.
I hope to lead at the first bend, and if I do, I think I have a big chance.
He's pretty keen on the night. He's very genuine kind of dog.
Loyal Honcho, great early pace.
I really do think it's time Seamus Graham won the Derby, and I think he's got a fabulous opportunity of doing so.
You know, maybe it's never to be, but that's why I kept coming back. I just want to do it, and if I do it, then I'll be happy.
Westmead Lord, the famous prefix Westmead, and trained by none other than Nicky Stabber.
I do think he can win Saturday night, but it depends if everything goes his way.
Well, he's never been the fastest trapper as before, but once he touches the ground, his acceleration is fascinating.
I have a sneaky feeling that Lord might ping the traps and blaze a heated trail and no one will catch him.
No, I'm no judge. That looks like a winner to me.
We're at Wimbledon. We're here for the Derby final, of course, but the owners in the restaurant area. The official code is dinner jacket. That's why Hobbsy and I got it on, because it is the biggest night of the sport. Big race comes up at 12 minutes past 10. The owners winding down. There's Bob Morton there waving to us, who we spoke to earlier. These are other owners and owners' connections. Drinking plenty of champagne. I hope they're drinking after the big race. We'll see how that's going to go. So a lot of owners there, and of course trainers like Charlie Lister, the top men in the business, are here tonight. Here he is winning with the blue jacket of Savannah Highlands. Every chance on his best form. Tremendous early pace. He's got reseeded as middle, but this draw did look fine tonight in track 2. There's Charlie there. We'll talk to him in just a moment. Let's get Errol with the betting details.
Here's the full result in the 9:05 at Wimbledon, the Blue Square Anglo-Irish Breeding Challenge. It's a double on the night then for Charlie Lister as Trap 2, Savannah Highlands, wins at 4-1. Second, Trap 3, Blondino, 5-2 joint favourite. And third, Trap 4, Westmead Joe. The forecast, 16.78, a tri-cast of £35.94. Fabulous time, 28.48, winning distance 3/4 of a length. And the Sky Flyer with Savannah Highlands winning at 4-1 means there's already £315 running on to the next leg, the 9.25.
Winning trainer there, of course, Charlie Lister. We haven't heard from the master trainer for quite a while on this programme. Let's put it right now. He's with Dave Smith.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. I think Charlie's not been all that well. Is that the reason we haven't seen you for a little while, Charlie?
Yeah, I've been a bit off colour. I had a bit of, like a virus, you know. I'm in bed for about a week, but I feel okay now.
You haven't seen the vet?
Yeah, seen the vet, yeah.
That was all right, Savannah Highlands, back to his old self.
Yeah, I thought he was a bit unlucky to go out of the Derby. He's the dog I like, and, you know, I thought he was a bit unlucky to come out of the Derby, but he's doing well tonight, you know.
He was a bit unlucky in the Derby. He went through the first couple of rounds.
Yeah, he did, and he got done at the first bend, you know, personally myself, I think he wants to be more middled, and he drew track 1 twice, but no, I'm pleased with him tonight. He's doing well.
Same applies to Zigzag Dutchy, I suppose, in a way. He went a few rounds in the Derby.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's been such a good little... I mean, he's nearly 4-year-old Zigzag Dutchy, but he's been such a good little dog, you know, and he's still not too bad at the moment, so, you know, he's doing well enough tonight, you know.
No runner in the final for you, but any personal offences?
I think the bitch has got a
glamorous flight. Yeah.
I think she's running well, you know. And
they have a great record, though, Charlie, do they? I mean, obviously it's a hood that can be broken, yeah.
Yeah, bitch has not got a great record, but, you know, I mean, they can win with them sort of races. I mean, she has been running well, and I'll be quite truthful, she's a good, genuine sort of bitch, isn't she? So...
That'll do for you then.
Yeah, that'll do.
OK, Charlie, thanks for your time. Thank you.
I'll tell you what, it seems strange, doesn't it, having an English Greyhound Derby final without Charlie Lister having a runner in it. Anyway, meanwhile, the Racing Post have received thousands of entries for their Dream Dog competition, sponsored by Blue Square. It's a sort of Greyhound equivalent of fantasy football. The winners of this Dream Dogs spoke earlier with Dave Smith.
Blue Square, of course, have been running a tipping competition throughout the Blue Square Greyhound Derby, and these are the three lucky winners I'm about to talk to. Let's start off with David Clegg here. David, you did really well to get a lot of points on it.
Well, my daughter did.
Oh, right, yeah.
And
why isn't she here?
Because her son's 16 today and got a big party. They're all gone from London up there, because that's where they come from. They're in Cornwall, I'm here.
Oh. Well, you know where to be then.
Yeah, I took her place, but she got the winning lot, and when she was number 1 first time. And I used to train dogs, and the headlight of the Racing Post was Sue Biss beats Expert Dad on winning the dogs. And then when I go down the town now, they all want to know Sue's tips, not mine.
Well done, David. Tony, do you have a lot of winners as well?
Oh, quite a few, really. You know, we used to own a couple of dogs which ran at Walthamstow and Harlow and Rye House, and I've always been interested, weaned on dog racing at Catford back in the 40s, which, of course, isn't there anymore. So, you know, I just had a perennial interest in dog racing right the way through, and horses as well. But
you been to the Grand Derby before?
No, I haven't, not for the final. Been for some of the heats, used to come with some of my mates, always used to oppose the favourites in the first round heats, but that was the system they had, not me. But
you backed Ali Connor a big price, haven't you?
I have, I backed it at 80 to 1. So
happy with a draw?
very happy with the draw, considering the one dog's usually got a bug to it. So 2 was the fine draw for me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move along the line to Michael. Michael, I mean, is this your first time at a derby as well?
My first time at Wimbledon. I used to go. I didn't really miss a derby at White City for about 20 odd years, but first time at Wimbledon. It's a long way to go for me, for us, rather my wife and I.
It's a great evening, isn't it? But did you find many winners in the competition?
On quarter-final night, I found 3 of the winners, and I was gobsmacked when I got a phone call. I think it was the next morning.
You get your obvious job if you can get 3 winners.
I was absolutely gobsmacked. I thought someone was winding me up. I think you're about to get some trumpets going off behind here.
Well done, everybody. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Well done to that group. Right, the next race is the Blue Square Champion Hurdle, due off at 9:25. Let's go down to the betting ring and get the latest news from Dave and Gary.
OK, Gary, let's give you some money's going behind us here. Tony Morris taking a fortune, as always. 9-4 joint favourites, the Executive Memo, Trap 4, and the 6 dog New Lawn Berts, who's got a cracking draw. 5-2 Snazzy Time, 6-1 a couple, Kildare Lark and Joe Cigar. 25-1 Jill's Fault is the outside of the Blue Square Champion Hurdle final. Humming up. There's Tony Morris. Look, I mean, if you look down, she's suddenly gone quiet, but go on.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Dave, Tony Morris, the last race, I don't know what's the matter with him tonight, he betted to 108%. That is very, very, very fair. You won't get better value than that anywhere in the world. And Derby final night as well, he's got the ump with something, I don't know what it is, but no, you know what he's like, Dave.
Yeah, I do.
I know we've got bookies spread everywhere here this evening, and John White's got the electric ball next to him, but I'll tell you what, Dr. Death has got the ump tonight, and he's giving the punters some value down here. Well done, Tone.
Gary?
Our next race then at 9:25 is the Blue Square Champion Hurdle. There were 3 heats for this last Saturday, run live on Sky, of course. The first 2 in each heat qualifies for tonight's final. Plenty of good hurdlers, the best in the business, coming up in this country at the moment. Commentary from Errol Blythe.
Up goes the traps, and away they go. Executive Memo pops out and shows early pace along with Polo Spirit though. So they jump the first 2 flights, and Polo Spirit just down in front from Executive Memo. After he's back in third comes 3 Jill's Fault, then comes 5 Gincana Cambinos. They jump the next, and it's 6 Executive Memo going on here by 4 lengths. Got a little bit close to that one, but got away with it. Still some 4 lengths clear from 3 Jill's Fault up in the second. Then comes 2 Druid Sully as they come up towards the last flight. Took off a little bit early, but wins well. And away they go, and racing up towards the first flight. Nice start from Snazzy Time's going to leave the inside runners here as they jump the second flight. Pacing up well though on the outside of 6 New Lawn Berts, and Patsy Cusack's runner goes on. New Lawn Berts then by 2 lengths over Snazzy Time. Then we've got a break back to third. Strong Flow in that position at the moment. New Lawn Berts with the 2-length lead over Snazzy Time. 4 lengths back to 4. Flamboyant Hero in third. Then comes Knocker Pertic. They come around the final bend. Snazzy Time's trying to find a way through on the inside here. New Lawn Berts just in front though. New Lawn Berts by a length. Towards the first flight in best away is Kildare Lark on the inside. It leads up early here as they rush up towards the turn. Kildare Lark goes round in front here from 3. Borrowdale Hawk in second. After this comes Joe Cigar, then comes Generous Man as they head up towards the next flight. And the lead here with Kildare Lark's got a 2.5 length lead, jumping well here. From into second, Joe Cigar trying to lay it down. After this comes 3. Borrowdale Hawk around the final bend, and Joe Cigar challenging Kildare Lark. How do they jump the last? It's going to be mighty tight. Joe Cigar and Kildare Lark in a photo finish, mightily close.
5-2 to field down here, each of 3. 1 Snazzy Time, 4 Executive Memo, and 6 New Lawn Bert. 7-1 Kildare Lark, and 7-1 Joe Cigar, and 33-1 outsiders Jill's Fault. Here's the parade, and Jonathan Hobbs.
Thank you very much. It is the Blue Square Champion Hurdle final. I think it's one of the best hurdles races we've seen for 3 or 4 years. On his toes is Snazzy Time, running out of trap 1 for Seamus Kyle and the Oakhurst Racing Syndicate, Peter Broughton and Peter Tingadine. Will he handle the red box if he flies out the way he did in the heats last week? Absolutely no problem. He won the Laverick Hurdle. He's been in 2 Grand National finals, Snazzy Time, and he loves it here. Track 2 is Kildare Lark, talking about loving it here. He's a locally trained greyhound, trained by Jason Foster for the Lee family. 7 wins from 14 starts. He's all about early pace, Kildare Lark. And I thought he ran tremendously, given that he probably didn't have the best of the going in Tuesday's heats. He was dead heated with Joe's Cigar out wide, another Laverick Hurdle finalist. Track 3 is Jill's Fault. Now, he's owned by Jill Harper, trained by Paul Salis. Now, Paul is currently in Amsterdam on a stag do. The stag do is Simon Deakins, a Hall Green trainer, so they're having a whale of a time. Hopefully they've found themselves a nice bar watching Jill's sport. Big price that he'll run on. Executive Memo runs out of trap 4 for Phil Rees. Talk about one of the fastest hurdlers around, 27.88. No, that wasn't the flat, that was over hurdles. Second fastest ever time, Executive Memo. The sort of greyhound that needs things his own way, but if he gets that, the Tyrone Hanlon, his owner, will be difficult to beat, no question about that. A Springbok finalist earlier this year. Joe Cigar runs out of trap 5 for Steve William. Ricky Holloway, Ricky, his owner, extremely confident about Joe Cigar. And I tell you, if he's on the bunny, that's a massive price, 7-1 about Joe Cigar. If this dog is on the bunny, they might not catch him. But in behind, he could just struggle to go the pace. Wimbledon, Walthamstow and Romford Open Race wins the Grand National Champion. He's never been beaten here. New Lawn Birch runs out of trap 6 for Patsy Cusack. A little bit unlucky in the Springbok to go out the semi-final stage, but he's got fantastic early pace. He made all in his heat on Tuesday, almost all. But will he overcome Joe Cigar on the inside?
Tommy, not Trevor. Big money for the 6 dog here, New Lawn Birch.
12,500 a 5 day, Tony Morris.
He's laid it down the book, Tony Morris. Is now 9-4 best anywhere in the ring. 5-2 snazzy time, the same as Drifter, his executive memo. 7-1 a couple, Kildare Lark and Joe Cigar. Jill Sport now double carpet, 33-1. Predictor, it should show 6 with a bit of luck. It does. 6, 5 and 1. You like 6?
I fancy 6, but it's Gary Newburn on trap 5 tonight. Gary, are you on Joe Cigar?
I certainly am, mate. You know me, unbeaten in 4 starts here, and they're loading, and I think Joe Cigar has to trap out like he did in the Grand National. If he does that, he may surprise you. Errol Blythe.
Yeah, the last one's about to go in. There is New Lawn Birch, heavily supported then in the ring. Now 9-4 on the prices. Was impressive in the heats for trainer Patsy Cusack. Just to point out that Bowser has been around here, so just come round before this race, which is the Blue Square Champion Hurdle final. Jill Sport, of course, took part in the last year's final and behind Strani Nuzo. Went on to win the Midland Champion Hurdle. 33-1 outsider this time round, though. Here comes the hare. Wall goes up. They're getting excited at 9:25. This is the Blue Square Champion Hurdle final. 460 metres in front of them. 5 flights to be taken. Away they go, racing up towards the first of them, and Snazzy Time broke quite well along with 2 Kildare Lark as they go up towards the turn on the outside. New Lawn Birch gets round in front, and it's New Lawn Birch that goes on to win lead here by 3 lengths over Executive Memo. After these comes 2 Kildare Lark, hopping over that, and New Lawn Birch jumping well as a 4-length lead here over Executive Memo in second. Then comes 2 Kildare Lark that come round the final turn, and New Lawn Birch still a length and a half to the good over Executive Memo. Great pace, all-round winner. New Lawn Birch goes on to beat Executive Memo and Kildare Lark. Trap 6, New Lawn Birch for Patsy Cusack, landed the Blue Square Champion Hurdle final. The greyhound that's currently excelling at the moment under Patsy Cusack. We see the slow motion replay again as they leave the boxes. Running up towards the first flight, very slow break from Jill Sport, out the back at the moment, going into the first turn. Joe Cigar turns sideways at that point. You can see as they go round the bend, New Lawn Birch out in front, more problems in behind. As trap 4, Executive Memo, goes down the far side in second place with Kildare Lark. Around the back there, Snazzy Time got roughed up at the first bend, finds itself at the back. And as they come round the final bend, and it's New Lawn Birch that built on the lead. The 9-4 favourite going on to beat Executive Memo at 5-2. Wins here by a comfortable margin, 2.5 lengths or so in the end. So they cross the line there, trap 6, New Lawn Birch then going on to win. Executive Memo in second place, and Kildare Lark was third. Super slow-mo as we watch the action as they leave the boxes. You can see Snazzy Time going up with Kildare Lark. Great jump though from Executive Memo, but the pace was going to revolve around the outside runners here as New Lawn Birch went on to lead by the first bend, and once out in front, he's a very strong greyhound. He got past Joe Cigar, who's almost turned sideways at that point, and then went on to win Patsy Cusack.
That's the first favourite we've had go in tonight, and I have to say Joe Cigar was very unlucky there, but didn't they come up to the bend, the first bend, all of them so quickly? But there's the winner, New Lawn Burts. Really in excellent form and running Wimbledon superbly after his fast heat win over Trap 1 Snazzy Time. He's done the business as the Jolly tonight. 2 races left, the Durando Marathon with more top dogs headed by Spirit and Louis, the TV Trophy Regency and Peterborough Marathon winner. He's on a 9-timer tonight. The crowds are here. They're waiting for the Blue Square Greyhound Derby final with the joint favourite, the Bitch Dilemma's Flight, trying to be the first to do the Derby and Oaks double. Sky Sports Extra, the big Greyhound racing.
Result. Blue Square, the art of betting.
40 minutes to go, Wimbledon, before the final for this year's Blue Square Greyhound Derby. We've just seen the Blue Square Champion Hurdle final, and I tell you what a start. The trainers should be proud of this. 5 of these 6 hurdlers coming out so fast, a rare sight. Look at it, a chase to the first bend. Absolutely wonderful by all the trainers to get them so sharp and so fit. But this was the sharpest of the lot. New Lawn Burts gets a lead at the first bend and stays there. The favourite winning at 9-4. Presentation there. We'll talk to the winning owner in just a moment, but let's get Errol Blythe's result update.
So the full result on the 9:25 here at Wimbledon, the Blue Square Champion Hurdle final. A win for Trap 6, New Lawn Burts, the 9-4 favourite. Second, Trap 4, Executive Memo at 5-2. And third at Trap 2, Kildare Lark. Forecast £8.81, Tricast £30.14. A winning time of 27.96, fabulous time. Winning distance 2 1/4 lengths. Sky Flyer as we put on New Lawn Burts onto the winning equation. And it's now racked up to £1,023.73, running on to the next at 9:45.
Was a very fast time for a hurdle race, wasn't it? Right, well, the winning owner is Peter Claxon. He's talking now with Dave Smith.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I got Patsy in here as well. Let's have a word with Peter first. You've been in this game a long time, Peter, haven't you?
Long enough, Dave, and had plenty of luck, but this is probably the biggest one so far.
Yeah, the blind didn't draw, I thought. I mean, if he cracks out, he'd win.
Yeah, he didn't crack as well as we thought he might do, but he just ran to the bend perfectly and runs that bend, just cut them off nicely, and he's a perfect jumper. That's what won the race for him, his perfect jumping pattern.
Why did you put him in the Grand National?
Tell the truth, yeah.
Tell the truth, Patsy says.
Didn't think it was good enough.
Really? Yeah.
It was, you know, a lot of racing, and we thought he was too many runs and too long a trip. We'd see him out running wide off that last bend. So, and I don't think we'd have beaten Joe Cigar on that night, the mood that was in. So he's had his night tonight. This is his night. So he's won fair and square, I think. No one's no hard luck stories. So good job done by Pat and the team.
Yeah, trainer wanted to put him in Grand National, didn't the trainer?
Yeah, badly, yeah.
Hang on, we're just getting interpreter, Patsy. Hang on. Is that a yes? All right, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he had a chance in the National, personally.
I think he won the National. Yeah.
But the owner pays the bills.
He pays the bills, so I left at home. Sign this bit.
Okay, Patsy, well done, Andrew. Thanks very much. Thank you. Gary?
Well, 3 of the trainers in the Blue Square Greyhound Derby final have been housed together this week at Nick Saver's Westmead Kennels at Dunstable in Bedfordshire. There's Saver himself, of course, plus the 2 Irish trainers, Fraser Black and Seamus Graham. The media have been visiting them this week, including our own Jonathan Hobbs for Sky Sports.
It seems quite incredible, Nick. We always seem to end up here.
The place is, the environment here helps the dogs settle, and they're happy, and if you want to exercise them, all the facilities are here.
You feel relaxed here, don't you?
Oh yeah, it's terrific. But I think it's down, as I say, it's just sheer professionalism with Nick, just from 6 in the morning to 12 at night. That's the only way I could sum up.
And Seamus?
Well, the facilities that are here are not too many places. You know, there's lovely places to exercise. There's no extravagant kennels. They're just good warm kennels. And once the dog is nice and comfortable, that's all he wants. You'd go to maybe other places and they have all kinds of swimming pools and all kinds of these things. You need the dog first, and the facilities that are here are plenty for me anyway.
We've got the schooling track here, there's the gallop. Do you tend to take turns in that, or is it just a case of keeping them relaxed for 7 days?
In my case, they're going to be relaxed, just the normal routine.
Do you open up the curtains and think, I wonder what Seamus is doing, and what's Fraser doing this morning? No?
He knows too much for us to be start telling him what to do, don't believe me.
I don't know if we want to whisper this, because there's a man who's got the red jacket, Fraser Black, on Saturday with Forest Skulls, but what is it about Trap 1? What's your feelings?
I don't know. I can't see anything wrong with Trap 1. Going back a few years when Gara Hills Gara was in the competition, it drew 6 Trap 1s, and come the final, he led like it was expected. So how can you blame Trap 1 in that case, you know?
So Fraser, what do you feel about Trap 1?
It's where he needs, and you know, I mean, I felt the last couple of races he's run well in middle, and if he'd have got on the rails, at least he's guaranteed the rails, whatever happens at the bend and that, if we can be with him at the bend, but at least he's guaranteed his own position on the way up, so it's up to him then.
And what about the Derby Roar guys? The Loyal Honcho dog, he was in the Easter Cup final.
I don't think it'll be a problem. You know, they're fairly seasoned dogs, and I don't think the Roar will be quite a bit away from them. They won't really hear it. You know, if they're concentrating on what they're going to do, they won't be troubled. I don't think there's anyone in the 4 dogs nervous.
We've got to be careful, but you're in your 70s, we've got a man in his 50s and a man in his 60s. Is the hunger still there to win the classics?
Well, I don't know about the hunger, but it's a commitment. You are committed to do your best for the animals and the owners, and obviously I wouldn't say I'm hungry, but I still have the enthusiasm, you know, and I enjoy the challenge, you know.
And win or lose, what's the plan? You're going back straight away, do you?
Be glad to get home on Sunday. We might have a long night. There's a little place called the Bell somewhere around here that could be open late. Well, it was last year anyhow, and we got beat, so if we got beat again, we still won't change.
It's an intriguing final, isn't it? And that final, the Blue Square Greyhound Derby final, is due off on this programme, Sky Sports Extra, at 12 minutes past 10. Right, the next race is one before the Derby, the Durando Marathon, always a cracker, some great dogs in this one. And here, with the latest betting news, the boys who are booted and suited in the betting ring.
It's a cracking night, isn't it?
And skin.
Skin, yeah. It's a cracking night though, isn't it?
Terrific, Dave. Yeah, it's a real good night down here, Gal. And the atmosphere, well, every year we get it.
It's the same, isn't it?
It's alive, isn't it? You know, net bet, 12,500 and 5 there. He took it like somebody went up to have £2 on it, didn't he? 12,500 and 5 at the bottom. It's just unbelievable Derby night, isn't it, Dave?
But he knows how to be a bookmaker, Tony.
He did, yeah. He's,
you know,
just...
Been at the game a long time, hasn't he?
And you can tell good bookmakers on big nights when they know how to take money and give the punt, you know, and he's betting very fair. But as I said before, Dave, look at him now. Something's given him the needle tonight, Tony, because the percentage they're betting, 10%, 12%, even this race, it'll be evens first show, 2 each to 2. They're sure to go with a ball of chalk here, Dave, the prices. They're sure to get bigger. Bottling up already the bottom, you know.
I mean, he's such a worker, this, Tony. He's betting straight.
Well, he's 103 years of age, Dave. You know, you don't get too many bookies at 103 years of age still working, do you? Look at him, look.
But he's putting up prices straight after the previous race he's paid out on. Anyway, 11 to 10 the 2 dogs, Spirit and Louis, 2 to 1 Cash for Kate, and 5 to 2 Edit on Jordan, Million Bar to 3, 20 to 1 Snappy Girl, 66 Anarchy, and 3 Hondo Reunion is 100 to 1 outside, and now 5 to 2 to 6 Head It on Jordan.
I stood with it on Jordan at Yarmouth, Dave, and I've done my brains at Yarmouth, and it's drifting again tonight. I don't know what Head It on Jordan's going to turn up.
Well, okay, we'll find out. Shall we? It's the Parade Obsy.
Well done, Smithy. We shall see. Cash for Kate, though, runs out of Trap 1. She carries my nap for what it's worth. Trap 1 for Brian Clemenson's bit should be perfect. She's owned by Neil Ryan, who of course owned Erica's Equity. I think she won 9 of her last 10 races. Ex-Irish performer who was Of course, beaten in the TV Trophy final, didn't really get too much of a run behind Spirit and Louis, but the draw, I think, swings it in her favour, but she'll have to be on top form to beat this Greyhound. Spirit and Louis, something special, trained by Lorraine Sands for Gail May, track records at Walthamstow and at Yarmouth. Television Trophy winner, the Regency winner, and of course, a good measure, she's a brother of Dilemma's flight who runs in the Derby final, Spirit and Louis. Great trial, 27.87. Trap 3 is Hondo Reunion, trained by Jason Foster for Mr. Wallasoff. Top grade here, Wimbledon S1 and S2, 2/3 in open races at Reading. 100 to 1, you don't often see that, do you? And we've got it twice as well, the 3 and the 5. It's got to be worth 50 pence each way. Or maybe not. Trap 4 is Snappy Girl, trained by Mark Wallace and Mr. and Mrs. Coach, Mr. and Mrs. Lime. Snappy Girl, off the track from January to May, lightly raced in 2007, but back to form in style at Walthamstow last time. She's got plenty of big race experience, and Snappy Girl at her best wouldn't quite be out of the equation. Anarchy runs out her trap 5, 100 to 1, but this dog doesn't know it. He's trained by Phil Rees for Mr. and Mrs. Hayes, of course, of side leg fame. Anarchy, open race maiden, got graded form here over 4 bends and 6 bends. 6 bends were pretty much going into the unknown. Trap 6 is Headed on Jordan, trained by Danny Talbot for the Headed on Syndicate. Hard owner Steve Race, looking forward to clashing with Spirit and Louis. Yes, didn't really run Yarmouth in the TV Trophy, but last year TV Trophy runner-up to Rockdome Girl, middle and flat runner-up, and the winning sequence was ended at Yarmouth. Didn't handle the trap, but look at that trial, 27.87 for the 4 bends. Matches Spirit and Louis.
Spirit on Louis now a 5 to 4 chance, just easing out from even. 7 to 4 Cash for Kate. That's one they've just nibbled at to beat the Jolly into. 5 to 2 6 Headed on Jordan. 20 to 1 to 4 Snappy Girl, 100 to 1 3 Honda Reunion, and 100 5 Anarchy, although you can bet 200 to 1 a couple of those runners in a couple of places. 2-1-6 is the way the predictor sees it. What do you think?
I just spoke to Billy Cook, who's Tony Morris's loyal outside man. He's been here as long as Tony, and I said, what's the biggest SP you've ever seen on a ball? As Tony's heard it from the free dog, he went 100, he's gone 200. There's 200 to 1 there. It could be any. He must have heard Obs. He wanted his half a quid each way, and he thought, well, let him win something. But I think this could return anything with Tony
tonight.
I
think so, yeah.
And only 110% again, Dave. You know, there's a bit of value here for the punters, isn't there? You've got to admit, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know, it's tremendous value here tonight, but, you know.
Three dog race, though, yeah, 1, 2
and 6.
3
dog race, but I couldn't have 6 having run at Yarmouth, Dave. I'm sorry.
No, OK. OK, Gary.
I'll narrow it down to 2 for you, Cash for Kate and Spirit and Louis. And Cash for Kate runs his track very well. It's the Blue Square Durando Marathon, always a popular race on Derby final night. It usually takes place after we've gone off air, after the Derby, and it's the first time it's been in our radar since 1999. And what a return, Spirit and Louis, and 2 super marathon pitches in Cash for Kate, Headed on Jordan. Now there's 2 circuits, 872 metres. Hobbsy, who hasn't been able to get a winner tonight, has been difficult.
Thank you, Gary.
For Cash for Kate in trap 1. I'm going to give him a bit of help because I'm going for Cash for Kate as well.
Oh, dear.
I think you've got it right this time. Against the Jolly. We're against the Jolly.
Mark doesn't want Headed on Jordan. Spirit and Louis holding his price, but I'm with Cash for Kate.
What are you for then, Errol Blythe?
It's very difficult. I'm with Spirit on Louis. I mean, I was a little bit disappointed when Spirit on Louis won the TV Trophy, in the sense that when he beat Wise Susie, I just thought he should have won by half the track, but of course we found out later that he cramped up inside the closing stages of the competition in that race, and of course I suppose winning under such circumstances by a length is worthy itself, but he's come out since and gone on and scored at Hove. Did a trial here, run the track particularly well, I thought, when he beat Franks de Best in a 460 metre trial. He does of course have to worry about Cash for Kate though, who can bowl along in front as well. It should be a real awesome race. I'm hoping that we'll get a big display from Headed on Jordan as well, because these are the 3 best marathon greyhounds that we've got in the country at the moment, and we're about to see them in action. Here comes the hare then for the Blue Square Durando over 872 metres, twice round. Spirit on Louis, the favourite in trap 2 for Lorraine Sams, the Regency winner. Away we go, we're racing towards the first bend. Walks out of the traps, Headed on Jordan, has absolutely bolted up front and just going to try and lead, but trap 5, Anarchy gets in its way. So Anarchy goes on from Headed on Jordan after he's going to get back to Hondo Reunion. Then comes 2, Spirit on Louis. Towards the rear at the moment, Cash for Kate, and also Snappy Girl as they go round the fourth turn then. And up front, it's Anarchy leading here. Anarchy out in front from Headed On Jordan. Spirit on Louis trying to make a race of it as well. After these comes 3 Honda Reunion as they go into the fifth turn. It's Anarchy. They're trying to move through. It's Spirit on Louis and it hits the front. Headed On Jordan goes with it as they head down the far side. It's Spirit on Louis leading here by 2 lengths over Headed On Jordan in second place. They come round the penultimate turn. And Spirit on Louis with his 2.5 length buffer over Headed On Jordan, who just can't keep tabs. It's Spirit on Louis really crowning a fantastic year. Spirit on Louis wins. Beats Headed On Jordan. Cash for Kate ran on to take third. The big three finished in first, second and third. And the favourite, Spirit on Louis, well, wins impressively when it really mattered. It did look as though it was going to be a hard task for Spirit on Louis. Not a great start in the early stages, but he's won, and a decisive win here against the 2 other best marathon runners that we have, and a kiss there at the pickup from Lorraine Sams. Let's watch the action again. Last away, Spirit on Louis on this occasion. Headed On Jordan broke well. If only Anarchy wasn't there, what kind of a story would we have had if Anarchy wasn't in the race? Just spoilt the chance of Headed On Jordan going round in front. Had to play second fiddle down the far side. Spirit on Louis, though, was quick to get in a good position, you can see, ahead of Cash for Kate, who was last going into the third turn. As they come round the final turn of the first circuit, Anarchy leading the way here from back in second, Headed On Jordan. But Spirit on Louis, he runs this track particularly well, tight against the rails, nipping through on the inside. And as they went down the far side, Headed On Jordan had managed to get past Anarchy at this stage, but he wasn't to live with Spirit on Louis, who has now crowned himself the best marathon greyhound of the year. I know we're only in July, but it's a tremendous performance anyway. After that TV trophy success, the win in the Regency, he's now taken the marathon crown in my eyes anyway. Spirit on Louis wins by a good 3.5 lengths, I'd imagine, maybe 4 from Headed On Jordan in second, and Cash for Kate, who got lost in the early stages, ran on to take third place in the end. Super slow-mo then as we leave the traps. Walking out of the boxes, Spirit on Louis left it at the start tonight, but he runs the track particularly well. You can see he's dived for the inside ahead of Cash for Kate, who was just in front at that first turn, gave that rival a slight nudge at the bend, and then coming round the final turn, Spirit on Louis against the rails, really tight against the rails, going on to win there, and what a success it was too. Spirit on Louis landing the blue square Durando, and the winning time, it's a new track record, 54.22, beating Greenacre Lynn's 54.26.
54.26, a new track record. Why did we desert her? Sorry, 22, 54.20. The old track record was 54.26, Greenacre Lynn. This is 54.22. Why did we desert him? Why didn't we realise he was going to win, particularly as he was named after the first ever winner of the Athens Olympics Marathon, Spirit on Louis, and he is the brother of Dilemma's Flight in Trap 3 in the final, because we're clearing the decks now for the biggest race of the year. The atmosphere will continue to be electric. It will build and build. The prize money, £100,000 for the winner. The Blue Square Greyhound Derby final awaits. Which of the 6 finalists will become a legend in the sport? We'll find out soon on Sky Sports Extra.
Result. Blue Square, the art of betting. Result. Blue Square, the art of betting.
18 minutes to go at Wimbledon before the biggest race in the sport, the Blue Square Greyhound Derby final. Huge crowd here, as there always is on Derby night at Wimbledon, and they're waiting eagerly anticipation, waiting for the parade, waiting for everything to do with the final itself. There will be a terrific roar just before the start. There was a terrific roar when the favourite Spiridon Louis smashed the track record by 4 spots in the Blue Square Dorando Marathon. There he is, the TV Trophy winner, the Regency winner, the Peterborough Marathon winner, and now the Blue Square Dorando. He really is in imperious form. Errol Blythe with the result.
Yes, the full result on the 9:45 here at Wimbledon. The Blue Square Dorando was a win for Trap 2, Spiridon Louis. Second, Trap 6 headed on Jordan. Third, Trap 1, Cash for Kate. PSB 5-4 favourite and 11-4. The forecast £5.73. The Tricar £6.85. A winning time of 54.22. New track record, marvellous since it was last out of the boxes, and a winning distance of 4.5 lengths. And the Sky Flyer, with these 5 winners so far, comes to £2,303.43 to the last leg, the 10-12, the Blue Square Derby.
The winning owner, of course, is Gail May, and she's talking now with Dave Smith.
Just sharing a private joke there, Gary. That was a very good go, that, wasn't it? Not the joke, I mean, but the win.
Oh, it just gets better and better. Like Lorraine, when she was on the Dogs programme a few months ago, she said that there'd be track records, and she promised me, and 2. And this one, because it was just such a hard race, and I can't believe how he's done it.
What, you want 9 in a row he's in now?
Yes, 9. He's got
a track record a boost?
Yes, so he's got 3 track records now, and if his sister can do it in the next race, that's the really good bit.
Yeah, Lorraine's very emotional, with tears running down her face, but I mean, they love their dogs, don't they?
Yeah, we do. It's we get very excited and perhaps a bit too embarrassing and a bit too loud, but we love it, so.
I thought you might have brought your class here tonight, funnily enough.
No, I think they're watching, to be honest. There's a lot of them I've told, and they might be watching me. I'm being heckled now.
Yeah, Paul Lawrence just Jacqueline. Okay, thanks very much. Great, thank you.
So much.
Well, there are only 4 greyhounds who've successfully defended their Greyhound Derby title. The most recent are Rapid Ranger and Westmead Hawk.
Rapid Ranger is leading the way here by a couple of lengths from Rackadall Jet, and then comes one Deerfield Sunset. Is Rapid Ranger leading by 2 lengths from Rackadall Jet, who's putting in a brave performance behind. There comes Deerfield Sunset as they come off the final bend. It's Rapid Ranger stamping his class. He is the winner of the William Hill Greyhound Derby. Success to Trap 2. Heading down the far side, and it's Rapid Ranger trying to get success again. He's leading for Countrywide Towns in second. There comes Sonic Light, but is it going to be Rapid Ranger's Derby again? What a performance, what a break. Trap 4, Rapid Ranger wins the William Hill Greyhound Derby final for 2001. Westmead Hawk on the inside of Blue Majestic. After this comes Mineola Farlow. Then comes Geldrop Touch. Blonde Mac, the complete outsider, still leading. But Westmead Hawk now moves through the field and comes with a tremendous run. He sprints clear. Success at last as Westmead Hawk delivers. As they come round the second last bend, it's still Mineola Farlow in front. Westmead Hawk's moving on the inside of Amarillo Slim. The writing's surely on the wall. Mineola Farlow with Westmead Hawk lunging late. He's got there again. He's an icon. He's fantastic. He's superlative. He is Westmead Hawk.
Well, here they are live on the Wimbledon track. It's great to see Rapid Ranger and Westmead Hawk. Westmead Hawk on the right, of course. They're leading out this year's Derby final parade. The holder, the Hawk, retired just before this year's competition began. Rapid Ranger, trained by Charlie Lister, won the 2000 and 2001 Derby. Westmead Hawk in 2005 and last year. His half-brother Westmead Lord, that's Westmead Hawk, of course, on the right. Westmead Lord will be at the back of the live parade in Trap 3. Jonathan Hobbs, what a lovely sight for Greyhound followers.
With so many fantastic memories of these 2 greyhounds. On the left, Rapid Ranger, led up there by Pat Cartledge, of course. Charlie Lister's partner on the right. You've got Robert Morton with Westmead Hawk. Robert, the son, the youngest son of Bob and Sue Morton. They've been looking forward to this moment in particular. Huge roar went up when these 2 greyhounds came onto the track, which I just think is fantastic. for the people here this evening, and great clearly for connections, and what a lovely appetiser to what we're just about to see, which is the Derby final.
It is terrific, isn't it? Great champions. Only 4 Greyhounds have done it. Very few trainers have done the double as well, and of course Nick Saber, trainer of Westmead Hawk on the right, looking for a hat-trick. It's never been done before. Right, well, let's find out where all the money has been going on this year's Blue Square Greyhound Derby. Dave Smith and Gary Wiltshire reporting from the betting ring.
Just seeing a rapid range of Westmead Hawk there. I mean, everybody was applauding. Fantastic to see them on the track. But let's give the betting for the big one, shall we? The 5 Loyal Honchos, the 7-4 favourite, been 2-1. 9-4, 3 Dilemma's Flights, been 5-2, and 7-2, the 6 Westmead Lord. 6-1, 2 Olid Corner, 8-1 Forest Skulls, and the outsider Corey Fast Track is 25-1. Well, we've arrived there.
I'll tell you what, though, Tony Morris put up 2-1 to 5 dog, and it takes a lot of money to knock him over tonight. Yeah. And he's had to give best here. He's gone 7-0. I can see this going a lot shorter. The 6 dog will be a massive drifter. He put it in at 11-4, 3-1. It's now a 7-2 chance. That'll go to a walk to bottom, and I think the 5 dog will come in, Dave. But what a performance, Spirit on Louis, the last race, wasn't it? Unbelievable, wasn't it, Dave? Unbelievable.
There's the prices, and 7-4 about the 5 dog. That's favourite, Gary.
It certainly is. I'm not sure that it's going to win. I've got a feeling it could be Dilemma's Flight, but more about that in just a moment, because we've been joined by Kate Miller, PR for the sponsors Blue Square. Without being patronising, Kate, can I just first of all say how impressed we've been with the way that the Derby's been moved on by Blue Square?
I mean, we're thrilled with the reception that we've been given. We're thrilled that the public have really got behind our sponsorship. William Hill did a fantastic job for 9 years, and David Hood did a great job. But I've been itching to get hold of this for ages, and the team at Blue Square, we've been eager to get hold of a great event like the Derby for such a long time, and hopefully we've repaid the public with their generosity and support of the sport. I think that's all we could possibly have given.
Well, it's shown here the crowds are still coming, and it's going to be a fantastic night. It's going to be a fantastic final. I think Dilemma's Flight. You think Loyal Honcho. What do you think?
Honcho, but it's
we none of us really know. What do you think?
I really want the bitch to win. I want Dilemma's Flight.
Okay, let's have a look at the 2 semi-finals. And what do you remember about these, Kate and Jonathan?
Coming out of trap 2 is Ali Connor, the eventual winner. There was a vacant trap inside the Philo Premier withdrawn. And I think the most interesting thing about the first semi-final, Kate, we're looking at Ali Connor in 2. You've got Forest Skulls in 3. The way that Forest Skulls battled back, and whether Ali Connor was just a little bit tied up for 3 runs in 8 days, but it's the same for all, I suppose.
The week's break certainly is doing good, and the ground that Forest Skulls made up, the tracking Ali Connor all the way round through the semi-final straight was certainly impressive. I don't think it's quite as clean cut as people think. I think they'll figure highly.
Should mention Westmead Lord, of course, qualifying, passing Ballymac Charlie in the second semi-final. Of course, all about Dilemma's Flight roaring up. There's Keynes Blue on the inside who battles, and Loyal Honcho on the outside. He really missed the kick because, and possibly so because of the full start, he really battled to get back into it. Ultimately, the bitch is too strong.
Seamus was quite convincing, Mr. Clip, because of the false start as well. But I mean, just to show how brave he was here, going round the second turn down the back straight, Loyal Honcho. It was a great running defeat.
The noise levels are increasing on and off the track, and here are the stats, Kate. Look at this. This is while it's been run at Wimbledon, and as you can see, there are 6 wins for trap 4. They're all level on 4 wins, apart from trap 1 that just can't get a win.
Well, it's interesting that Corey Fastrap, who's drawn in trap 4 in the rag of the field tonight as well, at 25-1, it has the best statistics for trap 4. But it's interesting to see that 2, 3, 5 and 6 are all level pegging.
And if it was Belgium's ratings, you'd be worried about trap 1, of course.
Here's bad news for the bookies. 50% of the favourites have won.
I think this is a more generous final this year. It's very open. There's arguments for every single job in the final. It's fantastic.
Okay, and then when we look at the fastest winning times, some picture there, but the Hawk, of course, with his 2 wins, very much in the frame of the fastest times here.
Loyal Honcho's semi-final run would have shown him being just behind some picture in Westmead Hawk with 28-26.
There's one thing clocking time. You do it in the final, and that's just legendary status. And Westmead Hawk twice there behind some picture.
Irish winners at Wimbledon. Can it be an Irish winner tonight? Half the field is Irish, or will it be English? What do you think, Kate?
I think it'll be English.
Yep, so do I. Hobbsy doesn't. He's going for the favourite. The thing is, The parade is coming out, as you can see. So, Kate, would you like to start when we're ready?
Very noisy.
They're not quite ready, the greyhounds, and it is very noisy. And actually, the roar is very, very off-putting for one or two greyhounds. So what's happening tonight is that with the big crowd there, we've been asked at Sky, and we want to help the sport, whether we can move the dogs further to the rail to make sure that we and the organisers are not responsible for spooking the dogs. So now we're getting them closer to the rail. Kate, would you like to kick us off with Trap 1?
Okay, in Trap 1 we've got Forest Skulls, trained by Fraser Black, representing the Emerald Isle, owned by Mr. John Boynton, who bought the dog halfway through the competition. The ex-Coventry City chairman, the dog has won one of his 5 Derby starts so far. He has the hoodoo draw, Trap 1. Can he prevail tonight at 8-1 though? That is the question.
The place is absolutely abuzz. Ali Connor runs out of Trap 2, led up there by young 17-year-old Kevin Hennessy, who's been looking after the greyhound. Paul Hennessy, Kevin's father's come over to just put the finishing touches on, but he says Kevin is the main man. He's done all the work up to now. And this little greyhound, he's only 28, 29 kilos, massive heart, and he's kept on doing the business. He's been fantastic. He's got form over further. He's won over 6 bends. He's strong. Can he ping out?
In Trap 3 we have a superlative Dilemma's Flight, expertly handled by none other than Nikki Sava. She's an absolute Wimbledon favourite. She absolutely adores it here. This daughter of Droopy Spiera proved her affinity by winning 8 of her 12 lifetime starts at Plough Lane, and to date has never finished worse than 3rd. Jack Elias Smith boasts a career record of 22 wins from 44 starts and is currently the 2nd favourite at 2-1 to win the Blue Square Greyhound Derby.
Trap 4, Corey Fast Trap. He's the biggest price runner in the field, but he doesn't know that. And there's proud Rab McNair, husband of wife, Liz McNair, KSS Syndicate owned Corey Fast Trap, Brendan Keogh, Mark Boble, Simon Senek as well, John Mark, Shelbourne Stud, Brian King, they bred Corey Fast Trap. He's done terrifically well to get the final. He hasn't won a round, but they'll tell you neither has Westmead Lord, and there's 6-7 times the price of the 6th dog.
In Trap 5, the Derby favourite, 6-4 chance Loyal Honcho, trained by Seamus Graham. Trainer Seamus Graham has his 4th English Derby finalist in the last 3 years, and will bid to go one better than 12 months ago when he had Minio Lofalo, who was captured by the incomparable Westmead Hawk on the line. Owned by Mr. Noel Ryle, this son of Top Honcho has a career strike rate of 50% and has yet to be out of the first 2 in all of his Wimbledon runs.
And please cherish this. Nick Sava leading up. Westmead Lord is the youngest runner in this side of June 2005. Westmead Lord is a half-brother of the mighty Westmead Hawk. It's all about early pace. He was terrific in the early rounds. He looks a tad nervous on parade. It's a massive night, of course. They've never seen so many people watching them race.
Laura Honcho then is 6-4 here. A lot of support at 2-1. They're finding they get on still. Dilemma's Flight also backed that 5-2 down to 2-1. They pushed Westmead Lord out to 5. Ali Connor, a lot of Irish support there. 6 down to 5-1. 8-1 about 1 Forest Skulls, and Corley Fast Trap is a 33-1 outsider of these Blue Square Derby finalists. And Peter Meldrum on Sky Sports predicting the rates the 5 dog as a good thing.
It's like Sky Friday night fight night down here, isn't it, Dave? It's just unbelievable. But I said the bottom of drift, Dave. It's 6-1 now on Tony Morrison. All the money's for 3 and 5. It's just an extra. The bookies. I look behind me. They're spraying their towel in. They're only laying 2 dogs, 3 and 5. That's all they're laying.
Okay, Gary. Thanks a lot.
So this is the executive box area. And I don't know whether you know any of these people. That's Dave Metcalf, I know, from Birmingham on the right. Dave Metcalf, who's involved with Macaulay's, and some of his friends are there tonight.
They're having a good time, don't they?
Yeah, Dave knows how to enjoy himself. And, you know, the atmosphere just builds. Just tell us and remind everybody, Jonathan, about the Roar, the famous garden.
You've seen the screaming crowds we've got this evening, and as the hair is set in motion, there's a massive great roar that goes up, and it can be off-putting. It was interesting to see Nick Sava give Westmead Lord his lead, and he was back on his toes, and he settled down. And I fancy that They seem to handle it generally well, but of course it's all about who's going to trap. It's such a close derby final. Must be the closest we've had in years.
There are so many different opinions amongst this large crowd here, and indeed amongst the media. I mean, there are so many angles. The last time Trap won one was Laurie's Panther back in 1982. The crowd know that a bitch, the very few of them, only 5 previously, have won the Derby, and this Dilemma's Flight could be the first to do the Derby and Oaks. The crowd also know that Nick Saba could be the first trainer to have a hat-trick of successive Derby wins. The youngest greyhound you mentioned, Westmead Lord, different than his half-brother Westmead Hawk. There's Corey Fast Track, never won a round. Only finalist, Kate Miller, never to have hit the front at some stage.
Well, Alan's gifted it, to be honest with you. Alan's gifted it, never won a round in the Derby, and certainly managed to absolutely fly out on the night and win the Derby for Claude Gardner. So that was an exceptional performance. It has been done before. Can it be done again?
So, Jonathan, you have to say, how are the handlers feeling, the trainers, the owners? I mean, it's gut-wrenching now, isn't it?
Well, Nick Sabbath's probably an old hand, but I guarantee you that little ticker is going a little bit. And unsurprising, I mean, he says that these are the nights that, you know, this is why he still does what he does to reach the pinnacle. What about young Kevin Hennessy? I mean, it's a marvellous story. He couldn't even get to Kate's Derby lunch. He was too young for the casino. And there he is. I mean, he'll remember this.
With track 2 there. Let's have a look at Kevin.
Well, absolutely tremendous.
17, doesn't he talk well?
He's fantastic. But he's been with Paul and Susan Hennessy. It's been his life. He's been with the late shows. He's been with the Tyra 10. So he's got a very old hand on young shoulders.
Let's get the latest betting news.
Loyal Honcho is still a 6-4 favourite down here, but Tony Morris had laid a fortunes about the 3-dog Dilemma's Flight, but that's a 2-1 shot now. It's then 5-1 for Trap 2, Olid Connor, and 6-1 about Trap 6, Westmead Lord, 8-1 the 1-dog, Forest Goals, and 33-1 in 4, Corey Fast Trap. But
I don't know if he suffers with stuttering, Tony Dave, but I'm sure he's laid a 20,000 a 10, a 20,000 a 10, and a 20,000 a 10. I think he's laid it 3 times. Look at it. I can't believe it. He's been, mate. The bottom's gone to 7. We said it adrift, but I've never seen something drift like this. And the smile tone, Smite might not have won yet. The 20,000 a 10 3 times.
Yeah, fantastic.
Oh, Dave, I've never seen anything like it, mate. Never.
It's a great night, Gary.
It certainly is, and we just don't know quite what's going to win. Can I ask you, Kate, what is the bookies' liability here? Because it has been a competition full of shocks and upsets and beaten favourites and the anti-post favourites going out.
Final book's actually pretty good for us. We've got Westmead Lord does us about 35,000. This is, to be fair, I haven't updated this up tonight. Loyal Honcho's a taker and everything else. We let it 33,000 each way. Corey Fast up at the lunch on Monday. Everything else wins us chunks. So I'm looking for a bonus next year if anything else wins.
Let's have a thought. Let's have a thought for Loyal Honcho's trainer and owner, Seamus Graham, looking for his first Derby win, and his owner, 82-year-old Noel Ryan, who had the first dog with Seamus Graham when he took his licence up in 1984. Well, we're going to hear the roar. We're going to feel the atmosphere coming through right to the end. Very quick word from Jonathan.
I think Wimbledon have played a blinder. We had the Rocky tune. We've got now M People Search for a Hero. It's fantastic. So,
well, a big race like this, the biggest race in Greyhound, needs the best in the business to commentate. And here's your man, Errol Block.
Well, the crowd are roaring on the terraces. The atmosphere is building all the time. Walking in is the favourite, Loyal Honcho, for Seamus Graham. He wears his heart on his sleeve. There's Seamus, as we saw earlier, of course, with Highbury Lau winning. He was in tears after that. What will it be like if the favourite tonight does the business? He was, you could say, cruelly robbed last year with Miniola Farlow running such a brave race, but it was a super hound that Westmead Hawk was that picked up Miniola Farlow. Tonight, Seamus Graham's got the favourite in Loyal Honcho. Second favourite, Dilemma's Flight, for Nick Saba, currently showing at 2-1. Here comes the hare. Owners proud as punch to see their charges here tonight. The 2007 Blue Square Greyhound Derby final. £100,000 at stake, and there they go. And racing up towards the first bend. Westmead Lord has absolutely belted out of the touch from Ulid Connor into second place. After these comes Loyal Honcho in third, and then comes Forest Skulls and head down the far side. It's Westmead Lord with a 2.5 length lead over Ulid Connor. Then weak in the bedding, but has got a flyer here. Westmead Lord, a young greyhound who we could see again next year, maybe even stronger. What a win, what a time for Nick Sava. And he's won from a very brave Law Honcho in second place, and back in third was Forrest Scholes. He takes the congratulations down at the pickup. A roar with Westmead Lord. What a start for an inexperienced greyhound. He trapped out so well. He showed the early pace up from Ullin Connor. At the back there you can see Dilemma's Flight and also Corey Fastrap at the back of the pack. They couldn't live with the early pace, and Westmead Lord, who'd been caught time and time and again in the early part of the competition, has stayed on that little bit better tonight to scoop the £100,000 prize. Law Honcho was to throw down the last challenge for Seamus Graham. How cruel it's been for Seamus. Forrest Scholes running a fantastic race as well, but Fraser Black closing all the time. But Westmead Lord perhaps out on his feet, but he's won the 2007 Blue Square Greyhound Derby final by a long neck from Law Honcho in second place. Probably a neck back to the third. Forrest Scholes. Dilemma's Flight probably just in fourth from Ullin Connor. And at the back, Corey Fastrap, who's played his part in the competition. The super slow-mo on the inside there, Forrest Scholes on the inside of Ullin Connor and Dilemma's Flight. No snappy break from Dilemma's Flight this time round. It was Westmead Lord who absolutely flew to the bend. Law Honcho, who tried to pace up, was slightly crowded with Ullin Connor in the way, was coming all the time, but Westmead Lord had found extra reserves of stamina to land the spoils. Unbelievable. Westmead Lord, the weakest in the betting, wins the Derby.
Right, Nick Sava, the first trainer ever to win 3 successive derbies, and he's with, of course, Dave Smith.
Coach, Nick, this is fantastic.
This is unbelievable.
Everybody said he was a short runner in the early round.
Yeah, but he did appear to get stronger in the semi-finals, and the way he started tonight, he built up his lead, and there you go. He's a half-brother to Westmead Hawk, and he does it completely the opposite way.
But the trainer winner 3 years running.
Well, it's no good counting.
No, but I mean, you're going to be in the record books forever, Nick.
I don't do it for that. Yeah, I'm over the moon. It's fantastic.
All right, Nick. Thanks very much. You get on and do the parade. Thank you.
I've got Robert Morton, the youngest of the Morton family, 22-year-old. I call him the racing manager. Calmed your emotions a bit?
No way, that was out of this world. That was the best ever Derby final performance I've seen. For a dog that hasn't won one semi-final, one heat in the whole thing, and to come out like that and hold them off.
And doesn't normally stay.
He doesn't normally stay.
Right. Do you want to have a look at it? Come on, talk us through this. Your fella in trap 6.
At this point, we knew we had a chance when he flashed out, and it was just a matter of getting around that bend in front, and he did it, and he was clear, and we just thought, keep pulling away, because if you get far enough away, they can't catch you. And he just looked so much stronger than ever. He just looked so strong coming up this final bend.
Are you worried they're going to catch him?
Yes, very worried, because he did it in the first round. Ullin Connor got him in the first round, and it was just absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible.
The Morton family and Nick Sava get a hat-trick. Never been done before, pal.
He deserves it. He's an absolute legend.
I wonder how the crowd are taking it, eh?
Hopefully very well, because his old brother's just been out there, and they loved him, so hopefully they can adapt to him.
Well done, pal. Let's go down to Dave Smith.
Thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. I'm just trying to find Bob. Here he is, Bob. Bob, fantastic.
Oh, thanks. Well, what can you say? I was sad that the Hawk wasn't here tonight, but I'm thrilled, so thrilled that the Lord has prevailed.
But 3 in a row, the same as Nick.
Praise the Lord, unbelievable, amazing. Nick said if he got out, he'd win. And he got out and he won. And I'm so thrilled. So what can you say? 3 out of 3. 28.47. What a time.
Back next year for 4 out of 4.
The only race he's won in the competition. What a naughty boy.
I was saying to Nick, a lot of people thought he was a short runner in the early rounds.
He was a short runner, but he stayed on tonight.
When it mattered.
Absolutely.
Pleasure to be here, Nick.
I always knew you can give them stamina, but you can't give them speed.
Okay, thank you, Bob.
Delighted.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, I didn't think Westmead Lord would stay on and do this tonight. And Jonathan Hobbs, this is an incredible win. The one greyhound nobody really thought would do it.
Well, the Nick Savage story has taken yet another twist. Another twist in the Nick Savage story. Fantastic effort from Westmead Lord. He's a half-brother of Westmead Hawk, and Nick Savage said when he first saw him race, he said, I might well have bred a greyhound with speed. Yes, we had the stamina with Westmead Hawk, but Mega Delight has thrown by virtue of a mating with Droopy's Cool, and there's a repeat mating as well of the Westmead Lord litter, and tremendous early pace. Absolutely flashed out of the boxes. He was a drifter in the market. Didn't matter.
Well, there'll be a fair bit of chaos down there and sometime before they do the presentation, so we'll just remind you of how the 7 live races have gone so far tonight at Wimbledon on Sky.
Charlie was just forced to check Zigzag Dutchy on the outside 5. Greenwell Storm making a run as he entered the third bend, and he's trying to bustle his way round, but still out in front. It's still 4 Blake's World leading. Coming around the outside again is Zigzag Dutchy. Greenwell Storm around the outside of that. It's going to be mighty close. Zigzag Dutchy and Greenwell Storm, they go past together. They go down the far side for the final time. Cure Magic leading the way here. 5 back 2 lengths over 2. Big Red Cole. After these comes 5. Dark Hondo. Still towards the rear at the moment as they come round the second last bend is Westmead Olivia as they come round the final turn. It's 3 Cure Magic with a length lead over 2 in second place. Big Brett Cole. Cure Magic for David Bruce is finding extra. Cure Magic will go on and win. To head down the far side and Highbury Lau's gone off for Seamus Graham. It's Highbury Lau by 2 lengths here from 2 Geordie Parker. After this comes 3 Fine Flanders. Spin off the final turn and it's Highbury Lau with a lead here a length and a half racing up towards midline. Highbury Lau for the Irish. He might hold on. Yes, he does from Geordie Parker. They come round the second last bend. Savannah Highland still thwarting Blondino. Riding behind now Westmead Joe. Needs an opening to come round the final bend. He's checked. It's Savannah Highland still in front. Savannah Highlands by a length from Blondino. Westmead Joe back in third. New Lawn Burns jumping well. Has a 4-length lead here over Executive Memo in second. Then comes 2 Kildare Lark to come round the final turn. And New Lawn Burns still a length and a half to the good over Executive Memo. Great pace, all-round winner. They come round the penultimate turn, and Spirit on Louis with his 2.5 length buffer overheaded on Jordan, who just can't keep tabs. It's Spirit on Louis, really crowning a fantastic year. Spirit on Louis wins. And head down the far side, it's Westmead Lord with a 2.5 length lead over Ulin Connor. Then comes Law Honcho, who was slightly crowded, looking for space for a Skulls as they spin round the final bend. It's still in front, Westmead Lord. Ulin Connor's trying to closing Law Honcho. Westmead Lord has won by a neck.
Here are the winners then, just 3 favourites winning out of the last 7 races, 2 out of trap 2, 2 out of trap 3 and 2 out of trap 6, but the big one of course Westmead Lord at 6-1, and let's have a look at him. Here he is with the cup. There's the presentation being made by Blue Square's Chief Executive Officer Martin Belsham making the presentation. There he is, Westmead Lord, the 6-1 shot that creates history tonight. The wonderful silver cup, Bob Morton in the middle there. Gary Slater on the left there, who said to me, "Oh, Green, I'll put my house on Dilemma's Flight." Well, he got it wrong, didn't he? He didn't put his house on it.
And the governor was parading Westmead Lord, wasn't he? And it was a supreme effort, really. And you have to feel for Seamus Graham. Loyal Honcho's run an absolute storm. He's been outgunned out of the boxes by Westmead Lord. He's been beaten by a narrow margin. And there was Boris Scholes in third as well, looking to end the hoodoo. The Irish have done themselves proud, but that man, their landlord, Westmead Kennels, 1, 2 and 3 effectively.
Fantastic result, and here's the SP.
So the results of the Blue Square Greyhound Derby final for 2007. A win 4, trap 6, Westmead Lord returned at 6-1. Second trap 5, Loyal Honcho 6-4 favourites, and third trap 1, Forest Scholes. The forecast £18.66. The TriCast £72.24. The winning time a fabulous 28.47. Winning distance was half a length. And those are the complete order for this year's Derby final. Westmead Law then going on to beat Loyal Honcho and Forest Skulls. In fourth was Dilemma's Flight, fifth place Ullid Connor, and last was Corey Fast Trap. And the Sky Flyer. As we add on, Westmead Lord at 6-1. If you had those 6 winners to a pound stake, £16,124 and a penny is waiting for you in the betting shop.
So those are the scenes. They'll go on for a long time, long after we go off there.
The remarkable thing is he's the youngest greyhound in the final. It's June 2005. He will be back next year.
Well, he may follow his half-brother, of course, but I have to say he never won a round at all. And, you know, he nearly got knocked out. He had a terrible start in the semi-finals and finished third.
We knew it was too close to call. It was all about the break. He's led at the bend. I think the time, 28.47, pretty much exonerates him in terms of that. He never really trapped so well in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, but he's blasted out the boxes. Young Kevin Hennessy with Ullid Connor must have thought he had high hope, because you knew that Westmead Law might just be coming back to his field. There's Loyal Honcho on the outside in trap 5. The bitch has completely missed it. She's raced up. She's eventually finished fourth to complete the Westmead Kennels, if you like, first for the clean sweep. But off the last bend, it's Guts that pretty much have got Westmead Lord home. He's no Westmead Hawk. We know that. He's all about early pace. Loyal Honcho, it's a gallant effort from trap 5. Shortly after the line, he was in front. It might mean, and in terms of the excitement for next year, Seamus Graham will be back. He'll be returning with Fraser Black and Nick Savo, and let's do it all again. It's hard work for those guys, but it's thrilling for us.
It is incredible, because we weren't really sure what was going to win. We all had our fancies. Look at that hug. That tells it all. Bob Morton and Nick Savo, the owner and the trainer.
Well, he went close.
Never been done before. Hat-trick of Derby wins.
They've known each other.
Fantastic.
They've known each other 40 years from meeting at the old West Ham track. He went close with Special Account. He went close with Sonic Flight. And suddenly, it's clicked. Westmead Hawk twice. Now Westmead Lord. It's a fabulous story of a great friendship.
It is. And that was right at the end, of course. There's the happy scene. The Morton families, all 4 brothers here. So, it's a shame we've got to leave it, but we do. But we're back very quickly. We're back on Tuesday from Hall Green in Birmingham with the Sky Bet Jim Crack final on Sky Sports 1. Then the following Tuesday, and we're going to have a look at the July dates. July the 17th, we're at Bellevue, Manchester for the Wafcold Cock of the North final. That's on Sky Sports 2. Before ending July on the South Coast on Tuesday, July the 31st at Hove on the Coral Essex Cup, and that's Sussex Cup at 7:30. Thank you very much indeed, Jonathan.
Fantastic.
It is. Well, what a remarkable derby. We talked about all sorts of different dogs. In the end, thank the Lord, say Bob Morton and Nick Savo, for Westmead Lord, and it's unique. Never been done before. The owner and trainer, Bob Morton, and Nick Savo pull it off with a hat-trick of successive wins. What a night. See you Tuesday. Good night.
Sport, news and views at skysports.com.